Hey everyone, welcome. I see the jokes about this being earlier than usual. As you can see, I have not successfully turned around my sleep schedule since doing my night shifts. And so here I am doing a live stream. This one's going to be a bit different to past ones in the sense that I want to answer any questions that people may have about making money on YouTube. There have been quite a few changes released by YouTube over the past week, which has changed a lot. Changed a lot of things for a lot of artists, and yeah, I just wanted to share my insights, my tips, my mistakes, answer any questions people may have, and hopefully give people who are worried about this, these changes meaning that they can't make money on YouTube. I'm hoping that I'll be able to change your mind. No, it's not a video. I will probably do a video about it later on, but I wanted to do a live stream to start things off. So if you want to like paint, I have got you can't there we go. There we go. I have got a reference photo up which is essentially reference photos that I've taken from my trip in Toulouse during the Urban Sketching Symposium. So you can sketch away as you listen, but also if you have a YouTube channel and you want to share it, by all means feel free to do so in the chat or to do so in the comments down below, if you're watching this on the replay. And yeah, if you have any questions, whether you have a channel yourself or whether you have questions or insights as someone who watches art YouTube, then please share them. After all, we are it'll just make life easier for everyone. So to start things off, let me just highlight how people make money on YouTube in terms of like get money from the adverts on YouTube, and then I'll explain the changes that have happened since then. So the way that it works is that you have to be eligible to enter the YouTube partner program. And what that means is that you have to have a channel, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and you at this moment in time need to have 4,000 watch hours in a 1 year period. And once you meet that criteria, you can then apply to be paid for the ads that are placed on your videos by YouTube. The way that the payment normally works is that every channel, depending on who watches, where they are, the niche of the channel, so whether it's like a finance channel, art channel, travel channel, family channel, like whatever it is, each criteria gets paid a different amount because advertisers are willing to pay a different amount for the audience that's watching, but also for the channel. So you can imagine that finance channels will make a lot more money than art channels or channels where advertisers are essentially not expecting to make a huge return on investment. Clearly they don't know how much we spend on art supplies, but you get the general gist. So what will happen is an advertiser will say, for example, for my channel, might say, I'm going to pay £10 for every 1,000 views on this video. And YouTube will then say, well, I found the advertisers that are going to pay £10. This is my platform, but you made the video. So normally I think the split is something like 45% to 55% that we get. So I might get £4.50, YouTube gets £5.50 out of that £10 for every 1,000 views. If I have a tech channel, a finance channel, I don't know what the other like high paying niche ones are, maybe a how to grow a YouTube channel, things like that, things where you are expecting people to make what advertisers are expecting to make money from the ads, then it might be that instead of them paying £10, they'll pay £50. Do you see what I mean? And so though they have the same number of views, they get paid a lot more. But for me, yes, I normally get paid around £4.3 to £4.50, £3 to £5 per 1,000 views on my videos. The reason that I wanted to kind of make this live stream and talk about this, and answer all these questions is that there's a lot of content. Some of it is helpful about making money on YouTube and how much people have made, but the problem is that if it's not someone who is, or the problem I was finding is that if it's not an art channel, then their numbers are completely irrelevant to me and mean nothing to me, because I'm going to get paid something completely different. So at the moment, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and then you can get paid for every 1,000 views that you get. YouTube recently this week announced that they're going to be changing the criteria, and rather than being 4,000 watch hours, artists need to have 8,000 watch hours in that 1 year period. So it also rolls over. So you need to, it needs to be within a year. And that has been what has been quite demoralizing for a lot of artists. I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of messages and a lot of videos of people just feeling like they can't, like they'll never attain it. And so there's no point in trying, which I don't think is true. I think it's possible to attain. I think it's trash that YouTube would do that and that they would double it. And they're saying, anyway, at the end of the day, that's the thing. We can't control the platform that we're on, right? So, yeah. So basically, basically they're paying. So effectively what that means is that people who are close or people who don't have it have had the goalpost moved twice the length further away, and instead of trying to reach 4,000 watch hours, they'll have to try and reach 8,000 watch hours, which is very, very, very demoralizing for people who have been trying to get to 4,000 and struggling, or even people who are just thinking about starting. It's not nice thinking like, oh, like all of a sudden it's been doubled. So well, you can leave, but it's one of those things, like at the end of the day, there isn't, in my opinion, a platform that gives you what YouTube gives you. So yes, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's other social media platforms, but I kind of touched on this last time. None of them really give you this element of community. You could make videos on your own website and share them there, but you'd probably also host them on YouTube, and still nobody would then see them, and you still wouldn't get paid by ads. It's not perfect. It is wrong that they have doubled this and they have done this. And I think they'll still run ads. It's just that the creators won't get paid. But we are where we are. I don't know. I mean, maybe, never say never. They might change their minds, but I don't think they necessarily will. So, in terms of, for context, in case it's helpful, or in case you just want to know my business. By the way, if you have questions, if you could put like question in capitals before the question, then I might be able, then I won't miss it. And of course I will answer them. Inky MD. I honestly don't know how I make time for YouTube and medicine at the same time. I feel like I have all these things that I want to do if I had more time and I was better organized. So it's not like what I'm doing is optimal, but it's better than nothing. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. So if you can maintain 4K annually, you can probably maintain 8K annually. Yes, I agree. The thing, I'll touch on that as well. But also, once you're in the program, if your watch hours drop below 4,000, you don't get kicked out immediately. I think they want you to maintain a certain number of watch hours within the year for a certain period. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's not like as soon as you drop below 4,000, that's it, you're out of it. It's to get in, and then after, in theory, the watch hours could drop and you would still be getting paid. So just to give you some context, I've made notes, that's why I'm looking down, because I was trying to be organized to give you the facts and give them quickly and be helpful. So my own channel, because obviously that is the context that matters. I am a mixed media artist based in the UK. I love making videos about watercolor, about gouache, sharing things like art adventures that I'm going on, art retreats, symposiums, watercolor festivals, art halls, palettes that I've tried, different art challenges that I'm doing. That's a general gist of what I am doing. As part of that, I also have an art membership that I'll be touching on a little later. I host art retreats, I teach, so there's plenty of things that I have done as part of, let's say, my art business. It's taken me like, how many years? It's taken me like 4 years to actually call myself an artist, but yes, I am an artist. And as Inky MD mentioned, I'm also a doctor, so I'm doing both. Obviously, medicine is the main thing, and then I started off my YouTube channel as like a nice, fun, positive outlet for the community, and it has now grown into this incredible thing that we have, like a wonderful community, great people, and just lots and lots and lots of fun. So what I am going to say, that's the general gist of my background art YouTube channel. Basically, I don't tend to have that many tutorials. I think maybe my content is a little bit more I don't know, I guess like supply focused and like studio vlog / life vlog kind of content, as opposed to art tutorials. So that might also impact how much I make. And then in terms of when I started my channel, I started it 5.5 years ago. Wild. I looked back on my videos earlier today just to like make sure that I could get the numbers right and get the information, and it's crazy to see how much has happened and changed in that time. But yeah, I started it at the end of 2020. Like I said, I am a doctor. Those of us who remember 2020 will understand why I needed some form of positive outlet during that time. And so I started it in December. I currently have 24,500 subscribers, which is insane. And to highlight how I started, it's not that I went viral. For when I started, I had 700 followers on Instagram, and I posted on Instagram to say that I was going to be starting a YouTube channel, and that post was very supported. I got like 100 likes and loads of comments, and I kind of invited people to join my YouTube. And for the first month, I had a grand total of 7 subscribers, of which I am pretty sure, well, I know one of them was me and the rest were my family members. And that's all the subscribers for the first month. And it took me 6.5 months to get to 100 subscribers. Yeah. Which, as I was watching it back, and it was so great, like it was a really lovely small community, which meant that I knew everyone who commented, and I feel like I kind of do now. But yeah, it wasn't like I all of a sudden went viral, and as soon as I started posting, I got to 1,000 subscribers, and I made it. It took 6.5 months to get to 100 subscribers, and then 8 months after that, so 8 months of consistently posting, I then got to 1,000 subscribers. So it's quite, I don't know how, or well, I'll touch on why, but basically 6 months for 100 subscribers, and then 8 months for another 900 subscribers. So by 14 months doing YouTube, I reached 1,000 subscribers, but I still didn't have the monetization criteria yet, because around that time I had maybe like 3,000 watch hours, so I wasn't qualifying. From a month later though, I got 1,000 watch hours, and I basically got monetized at the end of March 2022. And that first month I made my first £55 from YouTube. And I remember, because YouTube has the like threshold where you have to make at least £60 in order to get paid, I didn't actually get paid then. I got paid 2 months together. But for me, I was just over the moon that we'd got to 1,000 subscribers, that we had such a big and wonderful community, and then the fact that I actually finally got monetized was like a big deal for me. In terms of the analytics, I had 61 videos at that. I'd made 61 videos and 5 live streams and 1 short in that time. So call it 66 long form videos and 1 short in that time to get monetized. Now, obviously, this is very different for everyone. For some, that will sound very quick. For others, that will sound very slow. But I hope it gives some context and it helps make sense. I was looking back on other things that you may be curious about. So the main thing is that with 8,000 watch hours, that's 480,000 minutes. So if your videos are watched for roughly 5 minutes, which mine range, some 5 minutes, some 20 minutes, it varies a lot. But if you take the average, and it's normally 5-minute videos, that means you need to get around 96,000 views in 1 year. That's a lot of maths. Oh, hey, arting about. Okay, I don't think I've missed any questions. So let me just make sure. Yeah, so that's what I mean, manifesting wishes, that at the moment they're going to change it from the 4,000 watch hours to 3,000, from 4,000 watch hours to 8,000 watch hours. Another thing I need to mention as well is that this is going to take place in February. So you essentially have 6 months to get into the program, and then that criteria won't apply to you and you'll have the same rules that we have. If for the channels that are not monetized by that point, or the channels that start after that point, you'll have to get 8,000 watch hours in order to be monetized. So that is my journey. And I just wanted to highlight a few tips, a few insights. I thought there'd be more questions, but maybe I'm just so clear that there are absolutely no questions. Oh, one thing I should say is that obviously I'm just making this live stream now, answer these questions, share my insights, share my thoughts, but I did create a mailing list in my description that I've left, I think, as a first line, so that if you have a YouTube channel and you want to join that mailing list, you're welcome to. It will still be my main mailing list, but the reason that I created it is in case I find something that is helpful, or I do another one of these live streams, or I have any resources pertaining to YouTube, I'll be able to also send it out to you if you are interested. Part of the reason that I also wanted to do this is, like I said, I watched a lot of videos about how to grow on YouTube, how to deliver value on YouTube, what tech you need on YouTube, how much money can you make on YouTube, what should you do on YouTube. Like, I watched all those kind of videos, and they weren't always relevant because they weren't art channels. So the one art channel that comes to mind that was actually helpful around that time in terms of sharing like insights was Kelsey Rodriguez, because she's at least an art channel that is sharing things about like income. Now it's slightly different because a lot of her channel is about the business side of making art, or the business side of YouTube as an artist, as opposed to art supplies, vlogs. And do you see what I mean? So again, it's slightly different because again, it kind of leans into the financial side of YouTube, which would make more money and also just attract a different audience, basically. So it is different, but at least she was making videos that were helpful. She was sharing her insights, and I was like, okay, this is an artist and this is how much they're making. So that was helpful. Now, yes, they do. Might be worth mentioning that the videos that are paid promotion on your channel don't count towards... Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, arting about. Says videos that are paid promotions on your channel don't count towards the watch hours. I did not know that. I don't do paid promo. But that's helpful to know. Derwood, yes. If you your watch time still counts. In fact, even better, because then you don't skip anything. You just keep watching, and it makes a difference. So there are different kinds of ads, and depending on what ads are placed on a video, that will determine also how much a creator is paid. So if it's a long ad that's not skippable, that will make more money. If it's a short ad and people skip, that will make less money. If it's a banner and people cross it out, like, do you see what I mean? So it's not that all ads are equal. I also, as a creator, which irritates me, have no control over which ads are placed on my videos. I don't know what kind of system they are using to try and align it, but I find that it hardly ever actually aligns. Not necessarily on my channel, but just in general, when I'm watching YouTube, it's always the most random of ads, not related to art at all whatsoever. But yeah, so as a creator, I can control, I can say, I can say how many ads I want in a video, like if I want to manually place it, but more times than not, I don't do that. I'll just say whether I want like a minimal, moderate, or heavy amount of ads on my video, and then YouTube will place them. It won't before I used to do it manually, but I just found it takes so much time, and I didn't actually know like where should I put it, what difference will it make. So instead I just do minimum, moderate, or heavy. I never do heavy, so I normally do no ads if it's a membership video, and I do moderate if it's a normal YouTube video. And it doesn't mean that every YouTube will not necessarily place an ad in every video or every slot that you make available, because at the end of the day, YouTube, Sydney, the irony. But at the end of the day, YouTube wants people to watch videos as long as possible. So it's not their aim to like put so many ads that it irritates people and they shut off and they kind of leave. They want to get some sort of balance where, yes, there's an ad, but it's not to the frustrating amount that people are like, actually, it's not worth watching YouTube anymore. So that's how they go about it. Also, if people have YouTube Premium, they don't get ads, but YouTube will give you a portion of their premium amount as money. And by portion, I mean something like a few pence, like but you still get something basically. Sorry, I'm missing questions. Shauna, your dog's gonna recognize my voice. Oh, okay. I'm not sure about that because I've never like run an ad on my. But yeah, that would make sense. I'd never run a video as an ad, but I guess it would make sense because then you shouldn't be able to buy views. But Sydney, let me know if I missed anything. Hey, midlife outbreak. Hello. I find it odd that AdSense payouts vary so much between niches like art and finance, even though the viewer ads look pretty darn similar. It doesn't quite add up. Yeah, I know. I think it's more so. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if how YouTube is working it out in terms of like the ads that are being placed and whether. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I do feel like sometimes there is a bit of a difference in the ads. So say, for example, I used to like watching this finance accountant, Nisha, I think, and the ads that I would get on there would be, I feel, more finance related when I'm watching. But they are kind of assuming that the audience, like it might be like Xerox or accounting software or things like that, whereas the art niche, random, it's never creative related or anything like that. But sorry, I keep going on tangents, which is why I wrote these notes. Yeah, so you do get something from premium, and you also get something from people watching the ads, and you also get if someone gives you a sticker or a super chat or a tip, you get 66% of that. I think it's the same for like YouTube memberships as well. Which is why I have a membership elsewhere. I'll touch on that in a little later. So my tips for actually getting monetized would be, having looked back on my videos and also having looked at like I watch YouTube a lot. Um, so my thing would be that I think what made some of the biggest difference for me was, one, consistency, which I know like as soon as people hear that, they roll their eyes, and truly some people actually are consistent, so this may not necessarily be the issue for you. But what I mean is like having some sort of pattern and sticking to it. So consistency for you may mean that you make a video once a week. It might mean that it's twice a week. It may mean that it's twice a month. It just has to be something that people know to expect. And I know I'm quite bad at that right now. Like I'll put my hands up. But back when I started, back in the day, like I said, 61 videos in 15 months. I was basically making 1 to 2 videos a week for a year before I started slacking. I don't mean slacking, like still, working and whatnot. But yeah, being consistent I think is helpful. I find that what sometimes happens is that someone will make a few videos, get discouraged that maybe it's not getting the traction that they want, and then stop making videos, and then start making videos again, and then stop again, and then start again, and then stop again. But as someone who watches videos, as someone who watches YouTube, if I see one video by a creator that I really like, and then I go and I look on their channel to watch more, and I see that there's only 1 or 2 videos and the last video was made 3 months ago, I assume the channel's not active. I don't subscribe and I keep it I keep going. And I think that would be the case for most people. Whereas if I go and I look, irrespective of how big or small the creator is, but if I go and I look and I can see that actually they post every week or they post every 2 weeks, and thus the channel is actually alive, then I'm inclined to subscribe. And with subscribers, like the algorithm for YouTube changes every so often, and I think that things have changed more recently in the sense that subscribers aren't necessarily as important as they used to be. So before, it was kind of like, if you have a big channel with lots of subscribers, then your channel was almost guaranteed to get lots of views when you posted something. I think now YouTube is trying to change into almost like a For You page, like interest-based algorithm. And so what that means is that a lot of the time when I'm looking at my homepage, and you may have noticed this as well, when I'm looking at my homepage, instead of someone that I'm subscribed to necessarily being recommended to me, what's going to be recommended to me is something that is something I'm interested, not to say that, it's going to be something that I have recently interacted with and shown interest in. Does that make sense? So say, for example, I was interested in the fact that they've doubled the requirements. I was just curious. I saw it and I clicked it, having not watched like YouTube growth videos in a while. But I saw it, I was like, oh, that's odd. What's going on? Is it going to affect me? Kind of thing. I clicked on it and I watched it. And then I came back and other channels that I'm not subscribed to, but who have similar topics, started being shown to me. It has its pros and its cons. I feel like one of the pros is that it means that you have more scope to be discovered, even if you don't necessarily have loads and loads of subscribers, because if you are making a video that people are interested in consistently, then people are more likely to find it. Whereas before, I feel like it was a little bit more based on the community that you already have established. If you have, I don't think that subscribers make no difference though. And I feel like where subscribers make the biggest difference is that I think that YouTube pushes out some of it to the existing subscribers, like the people who have the notification bell, the people who have engaged with that creator and are subscribed, and it pushes it out to them and it sees their reaction. And if, say, it pushes it out to 1,000 of my subscribers and all 1,000 watch it, it will be like, this is a great video, people are interested, and it will push it out to the wider audience, so the wider subscribers and also the wider audience, thinking like, hey, people are going to be interested in this. If, same scenario, it gets pushed to someone's 1,000 subscribers, but of their 1,000 of those subscribers, like 10 people watch, YouTube is going to be like, not even the subscribers care about this video, and that video is going to be suppressed. Is my impression. And I think that it was a lot bigger before, and in terms of like, it was a lot more impactful before, and now there is that element, but there's also the element of like, if I go down a rabbit hole of watching lots of gouache videos, when I open my homepage, I'm going to see lots of gouache videos, irrespective of who I'm subscribed to. I may see who I'm subscribed to maybe at the top, but it won't necessarily be that that's all I'm seeing. And also the other thing is that I think YouTube is trying to figure out who wants to see this video. No, it's trying to figure out what video do you want to see, not who. So it's not trying to be like, I have this video and I need to show it to people. It's trying to see, you are like Durwood, J Boltron, Wildflower, Potato Pirate, what video do you want to see, and then present it to you. Does that make sense? Not the other way around. What it will also do is kind of say like, oh, all the people who watch Sketches.n.Scrubs really enjoy watching videos by arting about. And so it will show my videos to, like, if we have the same kind of communities, it will start showing you his videos as well, or maybe like Sarah Burns's videos, or maybe Leslie Strode's videos. Like, it's literally thinking about the similarities in how you are, like what you're watching. And sometimes we'll notice this in my own membership, in the sense that people will be like, oh, I've seen this cool video, and share it with us, and we'll all say, that's so funny, I've been recommended this same video, because it knows that we are watching similar kinds of videos. We like similar kinds of things. Derwood, that's a great question. Do comments, likes and dislikes affect how much you get paid? So no, they don't affect the number. So someone disliking the video will not affect how much one gets paid. I say that there's one loser, absolute loser, that every time I post dislikes my video. Like, the second it gets, you're a loser, find something better to do. But it doesn't affect how much I get paid, or anyone gets paid. I think where comments and liking is helpful is that it gives YouTube an indication of like engagement. So it kind of shows that this is something that people felt strongly enough to actually engage with, felt strongly enough to comment, and it just gives more signals that you like this video or you like this kind of content. And then that again kind of means it gets pushed out to more people, and more people means more views, and more views means more money. So it does inadvertently impact it. I think that likes and dislikes has less impact, like way less impact than, like the video still, please, but I think it has less impact than commenting. And I think that ultimately watching for a long period of time is king. And sometimes what YouTube will also do is ask whether you're satisfied with the video, and that feedback will matter and will make a difference. And if say for example, I keep picking on Durwood, but if Durwood says, yes, I like this video, and YouTube thinks like, well, actually there are 1,000 other people that enjoyed the videos that Durwood enjoys, then it might push it out to those 1,000 other people because it's a similar video. I hope that makes sense. Potato says that the Potato Pirate, that there are some that have 2 minutes. I don't know why. Like, I don't find I get that many ads. And if anything, because I find that sometimes ads actually they when they interrupt my flow in terms of like watching it. So when an ad pops up, I think to myself, do I want to keep watching the video? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is that actually I've got the general gist, and I move on. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that this is helpful, manifesting wishes. Yeah, exactly, Derwood. The same thing happens, and that's what I mean. Like, now YouTube seems to be moving towards like an interest-based algorithm, as opposed to like, these are the people that I'm subscribed to. And the way to get around that, or what I do, is I actually go through on my subscription tab now to, like, when I come on YouTube, I check there first, and then I go to the homepage, because sometimes the homepage has it's not that relevant. Oh yes, thank you, Arting About. Great point. So, Arting About Nathan has mentioned that YouTube also has hypes now. So there are likes, dislikes, and now there are hypes, which are basically like this. You're able to hype a video. I think it resets every week. So you have something like 3 hypes a week. And it's your way of being able to like push or promote a video that you've seen, or it has to be a video that has been made in the past week. And the reason this is being created is so that smaller channels can also get more attention. So if there's a small channel, and like I count as a small channel, all small channels depend, like, I guess it's all relative, but I think it says like channels less than 500,000 as small. But yes, if there's a video that you enjoy by a creator and you hype it, you're kind of giving it a super like, you're like a super swipe. I don't know what the, equivalent would be, but you're saying like, yes, this video is great. YouTube, pay attention, share it. And the more people do that, the more that video gets pushed out. So more so than likes, and more so than, well, I guess more so than likes, but still watching. View time, watch time, how long you watch is king. Or how long people watch your videos is king. So Arting About says YouTube, whoops. Yes, thank you. YouTube Hype is a feature designed to help up-and-coming creators with 500 to 500,000 subscribers get discovered. People can hype your new long-form video uploaded in the last 7 days to give them points, and you have a limited amount of them, which is what gives them the value. Do you see what I mean? It's not like you can go and hype everyone, so it makes it extra special. What did I miss, Derwood? I pay for ads. Yeah, so if someone pays for if someone has YouTube Premium, the artists do still get paid. They get paid a portion of that. So it's almost like when you look at I can look at my analytics if you want. I can't share my screen. You know what's so annoying? Last time I tried to share my screen, I almost doxed myself. But since then, it's been saying that my screen is being observed and I can't turn it off. I'm always paranoid that I'm sharing stuff. But anyway, it is what it is. So I'm just going into my analytics so that I can give you accurate numbers. Have they removed it? Revenue. Watch page ads. I think they've removed it. Like, before you could see how much of your income was coming from YouTube Premium and how much was coming from like the ads. But now you can't see how much is coming from Premium. You can just see how much you get in total. But yeah, so you get a portion that will be from Premium and a portion that will be from the ads. No, hypes are not only on phones. So, oh yeah, are they? Hold on. I thought I could hype on things. So normally, yeah, no, you're right. Um, so normally to like hype a video, hold on. It appears I'm determined to overshare my information. So let's go to, I can't hype myself, but you know what I mean. So if I go onto a video, let me put the sound down. Okay, so immediately there's an ad on my own video. How can I do this? Oh no, this is too old, 12 days ago. Whoops, I don't have any hypeable videos. Let's go to my homepage. Okay, Omar's just made a video. So, but now because there was an ad on my video, when I go on Omar's video, there isn't an ad because it knows I've literally just seen one. Do you see what I mean? So what happens is, if you have this on your phone and you can see the comments here and you swipe to the side, then you can hype. And then when you hype, you can see a leaderboard. But the leaderboard is like, I wouldn't say pointless, but like it's top 100 and it's always like, it's never anyone I know or anything like that. But you know, at least I've made a difference. Yeah, it has to be hyped in a week. Okay, so let us get back on track. So the first tip that I had was consistency, for the sake of the fact that if someone comes, sees your channel, really enjoys it, and then looks back, hasn't seen anything in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, they'll think it's not really active and they're less inclined to subscribe, they're less inclined to watch. If someone comes and like binge watches your content, then that's really good. Like I said, watch hours are king, or like watch time is king. And so if you're consistent, if you have a series, if you have something that allows people to actually watch the videos, in terms of like, if you are like, say for example, if I'm making like a how to urban sketch video, then it might make sense that I also make urban sketching supplies video or my urban sketching sketchbook video. Like, do you see what I mean? Like there's a natural thread to follow. So yeah, Lord you. So that makes a difference. And so if you're consistent and if you have an idea of, well, actually that's a point I'm coming to later. But anyway, that's number one. Second thing is thumbnails, and I'll say thumbnails. Let me say thumbnails and titles. It doesn't matter how good a video is if the thumbnail is trash, because no one will click on it, and or if the thumbnail is not good, because no one will click on it. And I think that sometimes people feel like they want to put as much information as possible in the thumbnail to kind of be like, this is a really good video, like it's got, you know, it's got all this information, or but I think that sometimes the simpler thumbnails say more. And there is like, you can, as you watch YouTube, you can see like you can see the phases of thumbnail styles that we seem to go through. So say for example, a few years ago, and maybe still now in some niches, it was like shocked faces on every thumbnail. Like every thumbnail had a shocked face. It didn't matter what the video was about, but like you had to have a face and it had to be like shocked. And then it went through like clickbait and, you know, like different things. And I'm not saying that these things are bad, I'm just saying that it's funny, you can kind of see the different patterns. And I think that one rule that was helpful for me, that I think I got from either vidIQ or Think Media, was like, keeping things to like 3, so no more than 3 elements. So I don't want to have like small text, big text, pictures, and a face, or this and this and this and this. Like the less I have, the better. And someone kind of said to me, like, almost like movie posters, Netflix posters, like that kind of vibe can say a lot. Sometimes having, like, if you're going to have text, you don't want it to be like a full sentence or like a full description. I find that the text that entices curiosity and is relevant to the video is best. 1 to maximum 3 words is enough, for me anyway. And also what you want to think about is the fact that a lot of people, like more than I think half the people who watch my channel, for example, are watching on their phones. And so the thumbnails are really small. And so if you have cursive, small writing with like bubbles around it, and like a small picture of like the art supply that you got, and a small picture of your artwork, and another small picture of yourself, and another small picture, when it's so small, people cannot see, and it doesn't entice them, it doesn't make them curious, it makes them feel overwhelmed and keep scrolling. If the quality of the picture isn't good, so if it's like fuzzy, then again, not great. The difference is that maybe like now, because it feels like also we're going the other way. So during the time, like there was the phase of like the shocked faces on every thumbnail, but then it also got to now we seem to be in a phase, or exiting a phase, of like a lot of AI thumbnails where everything kind of looks a little bit perfect, but a little bit off, like a little bit disconcerting, a little bit airbrushed, a little bit too proper, a little bit too generic. And I think that people are getting fatigued with that. So in a complete contrast to that, now some of the videos that have like literally a screenshot from the video of like maybe the person talking or whatever, which isn't like a high res picture, they are also doing well. But what doesn't tend to do well is if it's just like blurry and you cannot decipher what it is from far. And I think that that's something that will make such a big difference. If you look at your thumbnail and you shrink it down, can you tell what that is? Or ask someone, because you're biased, you're like, yeah, of course I can tell that says the top 10 best watercolors ever made in cursive, even though it's small. But show it to someone and ask them, like, what do you think? Or can you read it? Or what is this video about? And it will make a big difference. So I feel like there's like, packaging is so important. And I am not an expert when it comes to be honest, anything. I'm not an expert. I don't have the best thumbnails. I don't have the best titles, so on and so forth. But even as someone who spent like years making YouTube videos and years watching YouTube videos, to me, this makes the biggest difference. Like a lot of the time you can tell, what people enjoy and don't enjoy. And yet you're right. Like now AI thumbnails are really, really grating people the wrong way. Some people can't even tell necessarily that it's AI. Some people can, but ultimately like the ultra polished, super clean thumbnails are not doing as well, especially when they include people's faces, because I feel like that's when you can tell that something's a little bit off. Same goes for the AI voices and for the AI B-roll. Like it's even without thinking about like all the issues with AI, when I am watching something and I'm seeing someone just chatting and having a good time, and then they have like B-roll that's not them, it wasn't recorded by them, it's like stock image, it just puts me off and I move on. So yes, it's it makes a difference. Potato Pirate says, I hate that how long I watch impacts creator. I have ADHD, I hop around like crazy. That's not on them. I'm watching a trial at the same time as I'm watching this. I'm trying to be, the thing is, at the end of the day, I remember when when I made like a video talking about how much money I'd made on YouTube, and people were like, well, now I think I didn't ask them to. In fact, like, I acted time is worth more than the ads. Like, just skip the ads. I'll be okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to feel like they have to watch the ads or waste their time or anything like that. If you're interested in the ads, otherwise it's fine. But I could see that after that video, like, the ads were being watched because the the pay like jumped up. I was like, no pressure. And same goes for like watching. If you enjoy the video, watch it. If you don't enjoy the video, don't watch it. At the end of the day, we only have one life, and there are more important things than YouTube. I'm just sharing these insights so that you, as someone who's watching, knows about it, but also so that those who have their own channels can get a bit of a better insight and just think about these things a little bit better. And yeah, Jay Baltran says, as a graphic designer, yes, less is more. And just talking about readability. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly that. Sorry. Now, the other thing that I want to say is, so there are some that say that you should have a face in the thumbnail because it makes people connect with you, and like Wildflower was saying, it's like an element of maybe like branding, recognizable, like, you know, you're recognizable, and so someone will see it and be like, okay, yeah, that's Sketches video, and watch it. There are some people that say no. Sometimes I put my face on, sometimes I don't put my face on. I'm getting less and less comfortable putting my face on because it's the internet. But I didn't notice a massive difference between which videos did well depending on, or which videos were clicked on depending on whether my face was in it or not. So if I feel like the video warrants having my face in the thumbnail, so for example, when I was in Rome, okay, I'll talk about that, because the other thing is that YouTube has a feature where you can put 3 thumbnails and test them out. So you put up 3 thumbnails and it will split it, and it will judge which of those thumbnails is the best depending on which thumbnail people are clicking and how long they watch when they click. And for Rome, for example, I put up, normally I do very similar thumbnails and I put it up, but for the Rome video I was kind of curious to see if it would make a difference. I put one thumbnail that was me holding a painting that I created outside the Colosseum. I did one that was the 2 paintings of the Colosseums that I did in front of the Colosseum without me in it. And I did one thumbnail that was the Etcher Muse bag in front of the Colosseum. Right? So they're all based on Rome. One has me, one has my art, and one has the bag. And the one with the bag won. So this feature is open to anyone who has YouTube, and it might be something that is helpful for you to kind of see what kind of thumbnails are attracting the audience that you want. And the other thing that you have to also be mindful is the titles. So titles wise, I think, and also thumbnails, I feel like they have to be aligned, but I also like aligned with the video, but I also feel like it helps if they quickly depict what the video is about. They are relevant to the video, so there's no point being like you're crying in the thumbnail and saying this is the worst thing that ever happened, and then they click on a video and it's you being like, I had a great time. Like that will irritate people. And sometimes the difference, this disconnect doesn't even have to be that big. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes it's literally that I don't know, like you have a whole bunch of supplies in your thumbnail, the park with nothing to do with supplies. Like there has to be some level of cohesion, a strong level of cohesion, I would say, between your thumbnail, your title, and the start of your video. Because if people click on the video and click off, that is worse than them not having clicked on. Do you see what I mean? If they click on the video, and that's why like clickbait isn't good, because if they click on it and then 2 seconds later, 3 seconds later, they click off, what that is telling YouTube is that there's a disconnect and people won't enjoy it. And like I said, YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube and keep watching. And so if you have created a video that gets them to click off, that is a bad signal, and YouTube has less reason to share your video. So I like to do now, the way that I kind of do my thumbnails is that I will like to have a bright picture that has what I'm sharing in the video. Maybe I'll put 1 or 2 words on it that are related to the video or that entice some sort of curiosity. And in the title, I will also again tend to have something that either has some curiosity or like is relevant, like quite relevant or quite literal descriptive of what is in the video. And yeah, those are the main things. Some people will argue that you should make the thumbnail or have the idea for the thumbnail and have the title before you make the video, so that when you make the video, it is all completely aligned. Have never been organized enough to do that. I don't script my videos. I don't organize my videos. I don't do like shot lists for my videos. That's why I'm saying I'm not an expert. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot of things that I could do better. I'm just sharing what I've done so far with the hope that it helps you, and also sharing the things that I know I should do but don't do. But yes. No worries. Enjoy your meal. Sarah Noda says, I haven't seen a difference in face versus no face thumbnails. I think that people want to see the finished art in the thumbnail most. Yeah, that's interesting. So I think also it depends on your audience. Although yes, we may all have art channels, they're all different art channels. Do you know what I mean? So they're all attracting different kinds of people. So I think mine, for example, tends to attract quite a few people that are into supplies because I love art supplies. But then there are other art channels that are purely tutorials, and thus having the finished piece will be very important because that will let people who enjoy tutorials know whether this is a tutorial they want to watch or not. Whereas if it's just the supplies, they may not be interested. Oh my gosh, midlife art break. That is so funny. Wildflower, I hate long intros. I'll click off. Does not get on with the interesting parts. Sometimes I'll forward the first bits just to check. No, potato pirate, it's fine. It's honestly not. It's got to the point where really and truly everyone's attention span is a lot shorter. So, you know, it's not you. It's life for a lot of people. But yes, I think that's a very good point, Wildflower, and I would love for people to keep sharing their insights. But Wildflower is talking about the fact that, you know, they hate long intros. And it's funny because as a creator, I can see how a long intro feels like the right thing to do. And as a viewer, I can see why I skip. Like, I also, like, I want to get straight to it. I'm not very, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I do it well, sometimes I don't. But essentially, as a creator, you kind of feel like I want to highlight all the good things that are going to be in this video. And you fall into this trap of telling instead of showing, whereas you should just show and not tell. You should just get straight into it and try to give the information as quickly as possible so that people know that they're going to actually get what they signed up for, and then they relax and then they can keep watching. But if there's a long intro that's like, first I'm going to show you this, then I'm going to show you that, then I'm going to talk through this, then I'm going to talk through this and this and this and this, it then gets people get less inclined to keep watching. That being said, I'm saying all this and I'm sharing what's kind of going on at the moment, but also remember that things change. So there was a time where people really liked high what's the word? It's like high retention editing. So like every few seconds you change to new clip, new angle, top down, straight down, art supply, this, that, like very quick. And again, to do with the attention spans. But now it seems like YouTube is starting to slow down, like the watch patterns, or maybe it's just mine, but I think it's my watch patterns and other artists, other people who are watching art videos, is starting to slow down a bit, because it's kind of like we feel overstimulated by the clips changing every 3 seconds. And so slightly slower paced videos are doing well as well. So it's worth knowing both. So consistency was the first thing. Having thumbnails, like I felt like I needed a special mention, because some of the thumbnails that I see are just so overwhelming, and I just feel like if people took one simple picture of either their artwork or the supply that they're talking about, or do you see what I mean? Like if they took one simple picture, it would do so much more work than the multiple pictures that they have with lots of text, and you can't tell what is what or what is going where. And then also sometimes you have to be willing to, I think the saying is like, kill your darlings. So sometimes like you may really like a certain aesthetic, or maybe you really like a certain font or a certain, you know, whatever, but you have to let it go if it's not actually serving you and it's not actually good for the thumbnail, it's not good for your channel, it's just something that you think is pretty. Sometimes just let it go, and then when you grow you can start doing funky things like that. I will say that it does vary from niche to niche. So if you look at like the fashion niche, for example, they seem to like really cluttered thumbnails, which make me feel anxious. But in the art space, for the most part, when the videos that I have seen, the thumbnails are nice. They maybe have like high contrast, they have cool pictures, or they have like a nice supply that I'm interested in or I'm curious about, or the supplies are nicely arranged. Like, do you see what I mean? Or maybe they have like a nice shot of the art supplies and the colors are cohesive. Like, we're artists, it has to be like pleasing to the eye. Thank you so much, Potato Pirate. Says I do good visual intros. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm always awake. I do sleep, I promise. It's just that I'm still nocturnal from doing the night shifts. That's a good point. So Wildflower says, I don't need a long intro to tell me what the title has already said. Just get on and be interesting. That said, I don't mind a peaceful pace if it suits the video, which makes sense. Yeah, the high cut rates have become a huge turnoff, and that's the thing. Before they were like very, very popular, and now we're moving away from that. And that's the thing. There are ebbs and flows, but I'm just sharing what's working now so that you are aware of it. The other thing that I think is a big issue that I want to say with love, and I feel like it will sound mean, and I don't mean it in a mean way, but I feel like sometimes, like, I feel like you have to think about what it is that you want to get out of the channel. And if your aim is to grow a community and to be monetized, then there has to be an intersect. There has to be like a crossover between what you enjoy making, but what is actually helpful for people and helpful for the community. And what I mean by that is that sometimes I see small channels that will be like Studio Vlog 287, Studio Vlog 79, Studio Vlog. Like, if I don't know you, or if someone doesn't know you, they don't care about the studio vlog. Do you see what I mean? And I mean that in the sense that, one, they won't necessarily find it because like no one's searching, and YouTube is a search engine, but no one is searching Studio Vlog 87 to come and find this video. The other thing is they don't know you, so they don't know why they should watch. And I feel like sometimes it feels like the content is inwards, like it's about the self as opposed to the people watching. And I don't mean it I'm not trying to say that people are being selfish, but I mean, because obviously you're like putting hours into making this video, but I mean that the focus is on you. And if people don't know you, how is that helpful for them? Do you see what I mean? The point where vlogs and everything else become interesting and helpful are when people already know you, and when people thus want to get better insights into you, your life, and your creative practice. But when you're starting off, it is difficult to grow if it's just vlogs that are, for one, titled just as vlogs, because people don't know you, and the vlog content isn't necessarily benefiting them. And so I feel like if you really sit down and you think about like, okay, what is someone going to get out of this video? And it might be that they feel relaxed. It might be that they get entertained. So it's not to say that it only has to be educational in order for it to be helpful. But I feel like sometimes the videos are just, there is no, sometimes the videos are just a little bit too focused on the artist and not really thinking about what people are going to find interesting or want to know. And I think that that's fine when people already know you and have and you have a community. But I think when you're starting off, it is very difficult. Yes, exactly. No one is invested in vlog 98. Now, if vlog 98 is actually you, I don't know, like painting, like it's actually you doing like a fruit series and creating pieces of art with gouache, acrylic gouache and watercolor and comparing it, that is an interesting and helpful vlog. But you cannot call it vlog 98 because no one cares. But you can call it like, you know, what's the difference between gouache, watercolor and acrylic gouache? Like, do you see what I mean? And yes, it's a vlog and you're telling us the answer in a nice and interesting and cool way, as opposed to it being like vlog 98, I wake up, I paint and I leave. Do you see what I mean? There has to be some sort, you have to think about the person who's watching, and you have to think about, I think initially, them more than yourself and entertaining people, or, you know, like delivering value to people more than doing it as a passion project. The caveat, the difference is, of course, if you want this to be a passion project and the aim is not to make money, it's not to get monetized, it's not to get a community, you're just doing it because you want to document your life, you want to document your art journey, then that's different. And none of this video actually applies to you because you can just do what you want. But if part of the aim is to find your community and to get a oh yay, is to find a community and to actually make some income at some point and to grow so that you have that community, I think you have to think about the people more than, you know, you have to think about the people that are going to watch it, and you have to deliver some form of value. And you have to make that value proposition very clear in your title, in your thumbnail, and at the start of your video. Question from Derwood. Does YouTube train YouTubers to make titles like never paint like this? The biggest mistake beginners make. Watch this if you want to create beautiful paintings. Derwood, that's an excellent question. YouTube does not train creators to do that, but I think what is happening is two things. One thing is that there is or maybe two things, that's actually one thing. And I think that one thing is AI, because I think what is happening is that people are either searching on like ChatGPT or whatever and being like, what video should I make? Or when you make so I have vidIQ, which is like a plugin. They're a channel, but they also have a plugin that that basically is attached to your YouTube. And when I make a video and I write a title, it will give me suggestions based on what I've written. So I may write a title like I did called Making Money on YouTube as an Artist. I didn't use AI for that. I was just like, this is pretty much what this video is going to be about, so let me call it that. But maybe underneath that, vidIQ would be like, or whatever plugin people have, which is AI driven, will say something like, you're losing out money if you don't do this, or like the biggest mistake I made on YouTube, or like, do you see what I mean? So I feel like that's why there's a lot of like these almost like clickbaity kind of very similar titles that are happening. And I don't think it's necessarily clickbait in the sense that the videos aren't relevant, or that maybe they aren't going to talk about like the things that you should never paint like, or the things, but the nevers, the extremes, I think a lot of it seems to be from seems to have like exploded with AI. And I feel like once you get used to writing titles like that, then even without AI, you think about how can I sensationalize this title to make it more relevant. And it's tricky because on one hand, you don't want to make titles like that and you just want to get straight to the point. On the other hand, people click and watch the crazy titles versus the normal titles. YouTube has also done a new feature where, as well as doing testing out the thumbnails, you can now also test out 3 titles and see which ones get clicked on, and inevitably the ones clicked on and watched for the long, like which ones have the longest watch time. So it's not just like, oh, I clicked and that's it. It's like, if you have these 3 titles, which ones are people watching for the longest? And I guess the aim is to again avoid that clickbait thing of like, they're like, this is not what the video is about, and they click off annoyed. And it's tricky. Yes, exactly. The one secret professional watercolor painters know. The arting about says, and then it's use water. No, that's so true. Wildflower, you got mostly Shinhan, Daniel Smith, Schminke, and Winsor & Newton. I'm really excited for you to try out gouache. It's funny because when I was watching my video where I was talking about getting, because by the way, I've like shared videos highlighting exactly how much money I've made on YouTube, and when I made them. But when I made the video talking about my first year on YouTube, on there I was talking about like discovering gouache. Like I had just recently discovered gouache over the past few months, and I was kind of talking about how I love gouache so much and it doesn't seem to love me back, but I really want to keep working at it. And here we are now. Gouache painting. It loves me back, guys. It loves me back. Yeah, the overhyped titles. Yeah, so there are some videos using AI voices. I think what is happening is there are some where people actually just use AI voices, but there are others where YouTube is like dubbing, so it's translating. So maybe the video is originally in Spanish and then it's going to put in English, like it's dubbing, it's going to put an English voice over it, so on and so forth. I've stopped watching them. As soon as I see Lightwish, Artex or Paul Rubens, I don't even click on a video anymore. But you know, what can you do? Now, that was the main thing. So I had like consistency, thumbnails and titles. Think about like balance self versus others. You want to do something that's still going to fill your own creative cup and give you passion and joy for what you're doing, but you don't want it to be so self-centered. And some ways to kind of get around that can just be giving helpful information, how-to videos. It doesn't mean you have to turn it into a tutorial video. My first few videos were tutorials, but I quickly discovered that wasn't what I enjoyed making them, but I didn't enjoy making tutorials the most. And so I changed. But I still feel like I'm trying to provide value, even if it's in a different way. Yeah, VT, exactly. Some of the titles, it is tricky because again, like I say, it's that thing of you don't want to use clickbait titles, but normal titles don't always cut it. It has to be, I think it has to be a balance. The Latin Spanish voice. Sometimes also, I don't know why, YouTube will translate an English video into English again. Like, so some people, for example, will be like, why do I have an AI English voice? I don't. So sometimes it will translate it to English, like it will just dub it as English, even though I'm speaking English or even though the artist is speaking English. Question: is there room for a channel where we play art YouTuber channels and stare at them reacting to sketches making? Can you imagine? I feel like my I feel like the video, I haven't been mean. I feel like I've given helpful information. Yeah, no, it doesn't give them a choice. It gives the translating is so the AI translating is up to the person watching. So when that happens to me, I go on the settings and I change the language to like original. It's not the creator that can create it. Do people make money when people react to their videos? I think it depends on what you mean by react. If you mean like as you're watching the live stream, if you're like chatting a lot, if you like the video, if you like put hearts, if you like start chatting lots, then YouTube notices like a peak in activity, and I think it then shows more people that I am live. If yeah, it does that. Does that make sense? But I thought, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you meant like, I thought you meant them like get them to watch the video. Ah, wait. I mean, they have a channel where they watch your video. Oh, I see what you mean. Like reaction. No, I don't get. So if, say, someone was to decide that they're going to make a reaction video where they just react to different parts of my videos, I wouldn't get paid for any of that. The most I would be able to do is if they took the absolute mick and like used my whole video in their videos, uncut, blah, 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 then I would be able to say copyright, like put a copyright against them, which I wouldn't do. This wouldn't happen. But then to try and get monetization for that. But that would be horrible because then they could lose their channel if it keeps happening to them, so on and so forth. And then also there's like a fair use thing. So like, say for example, news channels, that's how they can show clips without getting done for copyright, because there are certain things that you are able to reshare. So if it wouldn't get me paid, but maybe it would drive people to my channel, which would then get me paid. All the pastel watercolor palettes, for some reason, all of a sudden, I know. Spamming hearts even though I don't know what they do. I think it shows reaction. So sometimes when I look back, if I were to look back on like the analytics of a live stream, I'll be able to see like when there was a lot of chatting and when there was, do you see what I mean? And then sometimes after there's a lot of chatting, there's more people watching. So I think it just like shows more people. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what you have to do, Potato Pirate. Now, the other thing that I wanted to touch on is other ways to like, I guess a lot of the information that I gave was like in general things that anyone could do. But the other thing that I think also makes a difference, especially if you're struggling with the watch hours, is live streams. Live streams are fantastic. And I am obviously completely biased because I really enjoy live streams. But live streams ultimately have great watch hours, I think. Like, my watch hours are disproportionately higher than my views, and I think it is because of my live streams. So it's interesting because it has to be a balance. So the way that I see it, or the way that I would say is, for me, the core part of my YouTube, the part that gets the most views, makes the most money, has the most engagement, is my videos, my edited videos. They are what tends to get the most subscribers, the most everything is from the edited videos. What then happens is from those edited videos, there is a subset of you right here that I guess really like me. I'm joking. I'm sure some of you no, but there's like a subset of you that want to spend more time, that want to relax, that want to like paint together, chat together, and that subset is a lot smaller, but is a lot more engaged. So, for example, a lot of you know each other in the chats. Do you see what I mean? Because we're like a community. We get together. We recognize each other's names. We were just live streaming together a few days ago and last week. And do you see what I mean? So that is why I enjoy live streams, but that is also where I feel like the role of live streams, for me at least, is like community. The people who watch YouTube are still, who watch the edited videos are still, of course, part of the community, but they're part of the wider community. They won't know our names, your names. Do you see what I mean? It's different. And so I think there has to be a balance. So there was a period of time where I didn't make any edited videos, but I just did live streams. And when I did that, technically the channel suffered. And what I mean by that is that the income dropped, the subscribers dropped, the views dropped, like everything took a cliff dive and stayed down for a while. What took less of a cliff dive was the watch hours, because people were still watching. It's just that it was less people who were watching, but the channel wasn't growing. It suffered. And every time that I do a live stream, I can see that, which is why I'm like, but I enjoy live streams. I enjoy being part of this community. I enjoy our chats. I enjoy everything that we're doing. And so despite that, I still think that they are worth doing, because that's how you build community. And yes, the watch hours also build and make a difference. So as people watch, this counts as watch hours, and then when people watch on the replay, that also counts as watch hours. So the videos I'm making unlisted, so at the moment, because I realized that I was always oversharing on my live streams, and here I am oversharing yet again. But once I make a video unlisted, which means that it's not public to YouTube, you can only see the video if I share the link. I don't get watch hours from that anymore. Do you see what I mean? So I don't get paid watch hours from that anymore. Or maybe I do. Maybe I do if people have the link and watch it, but it's not going to be the same as if I just left the video public for everybody to watch. So obviously, if you're trying to grow your channel and you're doing live streams, maybe don't overshare so that you can leave it public so that people can keep watching and you can make more of an income. To give some context, I don't know. Oh, thank you. Shauna says, the first thing I do is hit the like button. Thank you. And Sally. Oh, thank you, Sally. I think your live streams do so well because you have a gift. Not everyone could catch people's attention for a live lasting hours. Thank you. Oh. Potato Pirate says 41 people watching, but only 10 of us are commenting. The thumbs downer may be among us right now. Honestly, the thumb downers normally, like when I make an edited video, like within the first 5 minutes, they come and dislike. I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what is wrong with you? And then I think it's the same person, because it'll always be one dislike within like the first few minutes, and then could have like 600 likes. One dislike. Ooh, painting with Ashi. Good question. When I did my first live streams, did I sometimes talk to no one? No. So when I did the first live streams, there were less people, like a lot less people. So it might be that there's like 5 people, and maybe one of them will say hi and like talk to me for a little bit. But there was never a scenario where there was 0 people. But the other thing is that when I started off, and this is a very good point, I asked I would ask like my family to just be there. So at the very least, I know that somebody is watching, even if it is like my sister. Do you see what I mean? So then I didn't feel alone, and then it just so happened that there were people watching. So I did 5 live streams in, I think for the first 12 months, I don't think I did any live streams. And then months 13, 14, 15, I did 5 live streams in that period. And I remember when I started, my aim was to do 3 live streams to see if I liked it or not. And then I ended up loving it, and the rest is history. I've done so many live streams since then. But yeah, so they were smaller, and it would sometimes be the case that people weren't necessarily talking, but I knew that they were watching. Like I could see, 5 people watching, and then I would just paint and chat. So if you are worried about that and worried about like starting off, then I'd recommend you either like post about it beforehand so that people know. Ask maybe some friends or some family that you would be happy being there, like to be in the chat with you, just so that at least you're talking to someone, because all it takes is like one person to talk to you for you to be like, oh, this is nice, and it's like we're doing a video chat. And or if you prefer to not know, like I can't tell how many people are watching this live stream at the moment, so I can see all the comments obviously, but I can't see how many people are watching. And I feel like I prefer that because I don't know, like I feel like it's I'd rather talk to you and know that there are some people here because I'm talking to you than know the exact number. Because if I like look and there's like 500 people, then it's like, will I feel self-conscious? If it's like 5 people all of a sudden when it was like 50 or 41 before, have I said something wrong? Like, do you see what I mean? I'd rather just like engage and say what I'm going to say anyway. And I think as I was starting off, it was a smaller community, less people were watching, but people were very kind. They were talking to me in the comments, and I was just able to like chat as I painted flowers. That's how like it started. This was my way to relax, sit down, paint flowers and talk. But it's always been the case, and I think that the thing that I always wanted with like this community and just everything that we're doing is I need to feel like I'm talking to people. I was talking to a friend a few weeks ago, basically about like how can I record videos when I'm talking to myself. And I'm like, true, I'm talking to myself, but the way that I'm able to record videos and to do this is that I need to feel like I am talking to someone. And so I wanted to know you. I felt like I kept reaching out into the screen to like, I want to know you. I want to chat with you. That's why I asked the MVP questions. I'm actually genuinely interested because I feel like I need to talk to people. And then I said, and the way that it helps me in doing so is that then when I am talking, live streams is different because you're chatting back to me, so it's like instant feedback. But when I'm making a video, it feels like I'm doing a video chat or like I'm doing a voice note. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself. I feel like I'm talking to you because I am. And then you reply to me in the comments, which again makes me feel like I am talking to you. Does that make sense? Derwood says, I wish YouTube would allow me to block people. Derwood, what do you mean by block people? Do you mean that you don't want to see their channel again? Or do you mean block comments? Or... Oh, no. Oh, I see what you mean. In real life. Yeah, I think so. That like there are some people like, thankfully I don't get many trolls. And when I started my channel, my thought was I'm not going to delete comments. I'm not going to block. I'm not going to do anything like that. I want everyone to feel free to just speak their mind. That lasted about a year or two, maybe 3 years. It lasted too long. At some point, I was like, absolutely not. Like, this is my happy place. This feels like someone coming into my home to just like be mean, disrespectful. And also, by the nature of having a YouTube channel, you open yourself up to so many opinions that you wouldn't otherwise have. And I feel like sometimes you end up giving a lot of people access to you that wouldn't otherwise have access, and not all of them deserve it. And so now if a comment upsets me, if a comment is rude, disrespectful, if it's mean to me or anyone in the community, I block. I block it and I don't see it again. Finish. What happens when you block a comment is that the person who's been blocked can still see their comment. They can still watch your YouTube. They can still leave comments, but nobody sees them, myself included. I will not see them again. I will not be able to unblock them. Like, once they're gone, they're gone. And if something is outright mean, I just block straight away. If I am not sure, because the gray area is the part that I was stuck on, right? Like, if it's not that someone's being mean per se, but if maybe it's something that maybe I'm a bit sensitive about, or if it's like a borderline comment where maybe they're not being mean but they're being criticizing or something like that, right? Or maybe they're not being rude but they're saying something I don't like, I'll give it maybe 1 time, maybe 2 times. But if like I notice your name and I persistently think, oh, they're going to leave something mean, or not mean, but if when I see the name, I keep thinking like, oh, it's going to be negative, or it's going to be upsetting, or it's going to be a bit of a gray area. If I have to keep giving thought as to like, is this a nice comment or is this a mean comment over and over, I now block. So even gray areas, too gray, I block. Why? Because my peace, I'm guarding my peace, I'm protecting my peace. I don't need to see every comment. I don't need to read every, like, I don't need to see every comment that doesn't make me happy. Basically, it's like I don't need to hear every single voice. So if it's a nice, positive, joyful, it doesn't. I'm not trying to say that you can only be like super nice in order to comment. That's not what I'm trying to say. I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. If I keep having to second guess whether this person is trying to be nice or insult me, I now block. If it's clearly an insult, or they're clearly being mean to other people, or they clearly be like, then I block. Because at the end of the day, I want this to be a nice and positive and joyful space. This is my personal, peaceful, joyful place. And I kind of initially felt like I couldn't do that, but now I feel like it's my channel. I can do what I like. And I kind of see it like this is an extension of my home, an extension of my studio. And people don't automatically have the right to be here and be rude or disrespectful just because I have put it online. Do you know what I mean? So let that, But yeah, so haters, thankfully, like I said, it doesn't happen very often. Maybe it's because the people who were hating have been blocked. So it happens a lot less. But yes, it is unfortunate. It does happen. And it's also irritating because the hate comments stick with you. So, I try to brush it off, but obviously we're human, so it's upsetting. And I think also because I can't relate. I have never, if I see a video that I don't like, I skip the video. Like, I move on to another video. I have never felt compelled to write a hate comment, no matter what the video is. Like, it doesn't resonate with me, especially like an art video. Like, it doesn't, I can't relate. I can't understand. I've never done it. I've never felt compelled to do it, so on and so forth. I kid you not, one person went to the effort of emailing me hate comments. This is not to put you off. This is just to kind of give you context or an idea of like how wild some people are. I've obviously deleted the email, but I had a picture. I don't know. Anyway, it'll take me a while to find the picture. But the general gist of the email was, the title was F off. And I'm saying F, but that's not what the word was. It was the full word. That's the title. And I was like, that's odd. So I open it up and it's like, I effing hate you. I'm tired of seeing your videos. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I'm tired of you and the Brits. I'm so effing done with you. F off. Don't want to see your effing videos. Something like I wish I could find the photo. I'd posted it on Instagram to just be like, just what about my art channel could be so offensive that you go out of your way to email me? Because YouTube would never let a comment like that show, right? To email me to tell me all of that and spew all that hatred. And what did I do? I don't think I replied. But anyway, or maybe I did reply. No, I don't think I replied. I think I was just like, I blocked them and then I posted it on Instagram, and then I was kind of like, I can't unsubscribe myself from your channel. So I can't unsubscribe myself from what you subscribe to. So see me soon. Like, what else can you do? But for the most part, what I'm trying to say is people are nice. Very, 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 very few people are not nice. It's unfortunately part of the grind. Block them, don't let them drag you down, and keep it pushing. I find I'm just confused. I'm just genuinely confused. I think it's either some people are like mean and some people are just entitled. Because I think the thing that confuses me is that, again, I've never felt compelled to write a hate comment or give feedback like, I don't want to see your cat. Like, I don't feel that kind of need. I don't feel like I have the right to tell anyone what to do. And I know this video is like advice, but that's different. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I have any right to go and watch someone's video and tell them, you need to do this like this, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing like, I don't have that desire at all. Not at all. The thought doesn't cross my mind. I move on if I don't like the video. And that would be the case for most people. But some people, they're not even necessarily rude, they're just entitled, or something about their comments will upset you, and my advice is block them and move on. And they won't know necessarily that they're blocked. They'll just know that you never reply to their comments again, and there'll be so many more people that will leave you comments that'll be nice and positive, and that's what you want your energy to go towards. I have so many wonderful comments, and I don't want to ruin my day by seeing a comment from some inconsiderate person who's trying to tell me what to do when they know absolutely nothing about me. Exactly that. Because the other thing, thank you, Renee. Did I say your name right? Renee. The other thing is that as well as comments that are negative being upsetting to you, they are also upsetting to your community and other people who see it. Because a few times, if I'm not quick with it, there have been a few times where, say, someone is mean to me and someone sees it and then obviously defends me. That's also now ruined their day. Like, they came here to paint, to have a good time, to talk about watercolors, to talk about gouache, to talk about like an art trip, and instead they're out here fighting trolls, which is not what they were planning to do. Do you see what I mean? So for me, it's just it protects all involved, and it also sets a tone that that's not the vibe. That's not the vibe here. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's not. And it's funny because I haven't made many negative videos. But even when I made the video about like the issues that I was having with brands and just the issues with them flooding YouTube and all of that, that's a pretty negative video. I mean, I called it like brands destroying YouTube, and it wasn't even like I was trying to do it clickbaity and I was like not naming anyone and like shy and coy. Like I put screenshots, I cussed them all the way out. Even in those videos, yes, some people disagreed with me, fair. But even in those videos, the vast majority, like I would say 99.5%, were positive, because that is, I believe, what we are cultivating here. If my whole channel was always negative and I was always allowing the haters and the comments and the fighting and the trolls inside the comments, it would be very different, I feel. But like, say for example, if you're watching this and you're a troll and you want to leave that hate comment, you already know you're going to get blocked. So what do you get from it? Nothing. So you move on. Exactly that, David. Life is too short to tolerate jacks. Yes, there is that. There is that, potato parrot. Wildflower. It was so crazy. And the thing is that it was a man, and I don't have many men who watch my channel. And I was like, you're like, what? Why are you emailing me? Ah. Yeah, potato pirate. Yeah, I think that's basically what would happen. There would be like, animosity in the comments and things like that, and that's not the vibe. Whereas now, like, if you go in the comments, you're chatting with lovely people that are currently in the chat. You're sharing ideas. You're sharing helpful information. It's just different, and I guess that's another part of it, which kind of leads me to, the main part of it is like community, right? Like you meet your people, you find your people, and that is invaluable. So, what did I say? Current YouTube climate. I can't remember what I was going to say about that, but maybe it'll come back to me. But the points that I wanted to make, sorry, I went on so many tangents, was I know that this thing is going to double in 6 months, and it is annoying and it's terrible that they did that. But I don't think people should give up. I think it is still attainable. I think it is possible to get monetized in 6 months, even though I couldn't do it. I think you could do it, especially if you take on board the tips I've shared. Other channels that I found helpful that gave good advice when it came to YouTube and are quite aware of what's going on in the current climate are Jade Beeson. These are YouTube channels. Jade Beeson, Nate Black, vidIQ, and Think Media. 4 channels, absolutely fantastic. Different takes, different styles of channels, so maybe one will agree with you more than the other, but they give really good information, tips and insights and strategies and things. Some more helpful than others, in terms of some videos more helpful than others. But when I was starting off, it was like a good way for me to kind of know things like how to change my thumbnails and what titles are good, and, help spark ideas in my thinking that I feel like made a difference. Since then, I haven't watched them as much, so maybe I should kind of like look back on them. But yes, those channels are helpful to look at if you want, and they're completely different, so they can give you different insights. vidIQ, I believe, like, I don't know if they still do, but vidIQ used to do live streams where they also reviewed channels, so that might be a good one to also do, and they would do it for free. Like, they just pick a channel at random and do a live review, which I also used to do. And I submitted my channel for review once and it got reviewed. But it's funny, like I'm flattered, but they reviewed and all they had nothing to say. They were like, oh, it looks like you're doing all the right things. And I was like, well, I think at the time I was like maybe 1,000 subscribers or just under. I was like, well, if I'm doing all the right things, like is you put your channel forward to get some feedback, and the feedback was like, you don't need any feedback. I was like, what? So take it with a pinch of salt, because they don't know our niche, which is why like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I did some live streams reviewing channels so that I could give feedback based on the hours that I had watched all these channels and the hours and hours that I'd watched YouTube videos in general. So yes, don't give up is a key thing. You can do it. You can do it even if it gets to 8,000 watch hours, and I'll explain why in a second. The other thing is that the rewards from YouTube are much more than the money itself. This community, I can't put a price on. Being able to connect with people who love art as much as I do, who are passionate about supplies, who are kind, who are encouraging, like being able to connect with people who get you can't put a price on that. And I think that now, like, we know there's a loneliness epidemic and there are so many, it's just not, what it used to be. And I feel like people need connection and need community now more than ever. And YouTube can give you that. And that is why I know that, although this feels horrible, that's why I wouldn't leave YouTube, because I don't see any other platform apart from, like I said, maybe Twitch, that gives you this kind of community and this type of connection. Because with Instagram, like, you see a reel and it disappears. Like, you see an artwork and it's gone, but you don't really get to know a person. You don't get to chat with someone. You don't get to hear them overshare. You don't get to talk about different things. Like, do you see what I mean? You don't get to do all of that on Instagram or on TikTok or anything like that. So the community is a very different kind of thing. And for me, the community felt a bit shallow, like superficial. Do you see what I mean? Whereas with you guys, I feel like it's deeper. And that is something that YouTube and the changes and the algorithm can't take away from you. And that has been one of the most invaluable things. Because really and truly, YouTube did change my life. Sometimes I think, like, what was I even doing before? Like, who was I talking to? Who was I sharing all this with? Do you see what I mean? To be able to, like, sit down on I don't even know what day it is now technically, on a Thursday, 2 a.m. morning, and chat with you about YouTube, or, a few days ago, paint these 2 paintings with you. It's invaluable, and it's much, much more worth, much, 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 much more than the AdSense. The other thing is that, yes, it is still possible. So it is still possible whether you get it in 6 months before the 1st of February, so it's 4,000, or it's also possible if it gets to 8,000. Harder, but possible. At the moment, my channel is bigger, I know. But at the moment, I wrote this down. Where did I write it down? Yeah. So at the moment, my monthly watch hours are 4,000 to 7,000. Not annual, monthly. And I'm not saying that to flex or to show off. I'm saying that to say that 8,000 watch hours is a lot, yes, but it is doable with time. Like, I've been doing this for 5.5 years. Some people have been doing it for a lot less. Some people have been doing it for a lot longer. And although it sounds like an unsurmountable mountain, the more you keep creating, the more videos you have, the more your community grows, the easier it will eventually be to reach that milestone, and you will reach it, and it won't be a thing, like it won't, you know, it's still doable. It's hard, but it's doable, is basically what I'm trying to say. Then the other thing that I wanted to say is, oh yeah, diversify your income. So I don't know if people are interested in how much I make. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, Josie, it's not you, it's me. It's because I don't share it. I don't share it online. The Sketches, Scrubs. You know what? Someone did ask me, like, what's my surname? I was like, Sketches. I was like, no, seriously. I was like, okay, Sketches and Scrubs. Like, what do you want? Wildflower, spend 1,000 hours just staying in these live streams all night. No, thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry, you guys. I was like, what are you interested in? I forgot I asked the question. You're interested in how much I make. Okay, so let's talk about it. So, I was making £4 per 1,000, £3 to £4 per 1,000 views. Recently, that has gone up. I don't know why. So now I'm making £5.75 per 1,000 views. The past 6 months, have gone up a lot. I don't know what changed. Watch paid ads. Hold on, sorry, I'm just opening up my analytics. I don't understand how it's doing this. That's not right. What's it doing? Hold on. Okay. No, I think it's showing me what YouTube gets paid, not what I get paid. Because that's not what I got paid. Okay. So, past 6 months, the income shut up. Super high. So in March, I made £185. In April, I made £168, May £194, and then in June, I don't know what happened. I will have to look back and see. I don't know what happened. But in June, I made £364, and in July, I've made £333, which is wild. And this is the most that I have ever made on YouTube. Before why isn't it showing it to me? Before, I was making around £100 a month. And obviously, like, I started off at £55 a month. And then the following month, I think it dropped down to 40, but I got paid that as one sum because it hadn't gone over £60. But yeah, it's, I can see what I made last year. Oversharing much. So last year, I made £2,816 from YouTube. And the bulk of that was... What happened here? Something happened on the 10th of October. What was it? I don't know. What happened on the 10th of October? There's like a huge spike in income. Maybe it's a video. I really don't know what triggered that. Because 10th of October. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why there's a spike there. Maybe YouTube made some sort of mistake and it went back up, or stay inspired, encouraged, and joyful. I don't know. But that's that's how much I've made. Oh, thank you. Oh, the release of my retreat dates. Do you think? Maybe. No, thank you, Laurie. No, that's very kind of you. No, honestly, I can see how much is what? Hold on, I can show you. Mm, I got confused. Oh no, sure no, that was just SNS for Sketches and Scrubs. Potato Pirate, Doctor Sketches, Quinn Golden Scrubs. No worries, it's okay. Yeah, that's the thing. People, so some people, because obviously it was less the year before, so I think it was like around 1,000 the year before, or maybe less than that. And some people are like, whoa, that's a lot, and some people are like, whoa, that's not a lot. For me, I feel like if it was money alone, it wouldn't be enough because, like, so for example, I get asked, am I still a doctor? Am I still working? And 2,816 pounds is like good money, but that is for the year. so, so, so I would have to make like 14 times that in order to sustain myself. So yeah, it depends. So can I see? So I'm looking at 2025, right? So these are the stats for last year, and the paid ads were £2,700, and then the supers and the gifts. This is for the year. The supers and the gifts were £90, and then the shorts were £8. And if I look to see the live streams, I don't know how helpful this is, but the lives. So of the £2,700 that I made from the ads, 2,400 is from the videos and 300 is from the live streams. But of the £90 that I've made as gifts, stickers, tips, £73 of it is from the live streams. Thank you. Laurie is a prime example of that. Yeah, that's the thing. Some people thought that I was making like this when I made that initial video because I'd had I think 1 million views. Like I've hit 1 million views, and I was like, how much do you think I've made for it? And some people were like, oh, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. I'm like, I mean, amen. One day I would love to, but I don't know. I don't know how that would be possible. Anyway, I'm saying all this to say that initially I was making around £50 a month for the first few months, and then so how many years have I've been monetized for 4 years. I've been monetized 4 years. I made 2,800 last year. I can check if you want. Hold on. 2024. I'll check how much I made in 2024. Oopsie. 2024 as well. Apply. I made 1,600 in 2024. And to be honest, it was like I maybe made something like 400 for the first 11 months, and then in December I made a lot more. Why? I made the Roman Schmall video, like when the Essentials palette came out, and that made more money. And I made a sharing my mistakes so that you don't make them. That made money. I shared the brand secretly destroying YouTube. That made money. And I shared an art haul of all the art supplies that I bought from artists, and that also made money. So it was like, and also actually in the holiday period, advertisers pay more, so we also get paid more. And then I think, hold on, I can check 2023 as well if you, I don't know if this is of interest to anyone, but hopefully it is. I could make it more, not now in the live stream, but in general, maybe I could make it more detailed and be like, how many videos I made. I think I did that actually in the video where I talk about how many views, how much I've been paid for 1 million views. I kind of go through like, I made this many videos in this year and I got paid this. I made this many and I got paid this. And in 2023, it was £1,200. Yes, the Daniel Smith pilot video. So it got a lot of views, but actually it did make a bit of money. So I can see, sorry, 2023, the video that made me the most money was an art haul video sharing the novel art supply gifts for artists, which is a surprise because it didn't get that many views, or as many views as I thought it would, but it got that. Let me look at 2025 because I feel like the YouTube landscape just changes so much in terms of what's popular one year versus the next year, and so I don't want us to like focus too much on everything that was relevant 3-4 years ago because I feel like we've moved with the times. This last year's most popular video was the Daniel Smith video, my most used Daniel Smith watercolor palette, in terms of making the most income, and that made £112. So that is my highest earning video. Then the second highest with £108 is the Secret Artist Confessions. That video was so much fun. And essentially what I did is I put out a poll anonymously and I asked people to like submit their confessions, colors that you pretend to like, that you don't like, art supplies that you think are overrated, things you wish you knew earlier, just like anonymous confessions. And then in that video I just read them out loud, and it was just so funny to read and to read all your confessions. Okay, Laurie, excellent question. So does that even cover your art supplies and sketchbook addiction? The answer is no. No, it does not. So, okay, and this is why I'm saying that there is so much monetization is a goal, so we put lots of importance on it and it feels like we're going to get paid, and you think like, oh, you're going to get something, which is better than nothing, which is true, but this is why I'm saying it's not necessarily the be all and end all, because for the first year I think I made maybe like £400 or so, and now like I've made 400 and something like 470 videos and a total of £5,000. So even if you divide that by video, where's my calculator? Yes, it is better than zero. So I'm not trying to sound like ungrateful, but I'm just trying to also say that the benefits of YouTube don't stop at monetization. It's not just that monetization is like the biggest benefit. Do you see what I mean? So if I say 5,000 divided by 470, that's £10.60 per video. That takes me roughly 20 to 30 hours to make. 50p per hour. No, so sorry, Laurie, what I was going to say is that all of that is the income that I make from YouTube. It is not the profit. So as of this year, I have not made a profit from YouTube. Which is actually wild to say. Now, obviously, one could be better with money. And by one, I mean me. I could be better with money and I could, yes. And maybe if I was better with money, I would have made a profit by now. But I have been making a loss on YouTube for years. And that's in part, yes, art supplies, but also like the gear. And again, you don't need to go out and buy the most expensive gear or anything like that. These are, I guess, my mistakes and my I don't know if mistakes is a word, because I don't know if I would necessarily do things differently, but this is my limitations, shall we say, my issue. So you can definitely make YouTube with just a few supplies and a few resources, and then get monetized and then make profit. I personally have been losing money on YouTube for years. By the time that I like got lights, got just like gear, got lights, Epidemic Sound, what else did I? There was a time I was paying for StreamYard. Then I started paying for Zoom to try and do that instead. Then just like art supplies, yes, we take some with a pinch of salt. But art supplies that I bought, camera that I bought, the stream deck that I bought, the light, like so many lights that I bought, the tripod, the like so many supplies. The laptop I bought, but also thankfully the laptop, a big part of that was through the help of my art membership, which will lead me to my other point. But yeah, so the laptop, I was able to buy that through my art membership. But in the general crux of it is that yes, I'm making some income. I'm making income from YouTube, but I'm not making profit from YouTube yet. Never say never. This year might be the year that I do, because this is the most that I've made, and I haven't needed to buy many big, replacement things. So I've got my lights now and they work for this setup. I have my desk, which I got this year, got a tripod last year, I have my mic, I have my camera. So I have like a few cameras. So I've got like this camera, that's like the talking head one for my vlogs. I have the Canon M50 that honestly, I'm still struggling to use. Don't quite know how to. I got it so that I could do better live streams, struggling with that, so kind of stopped that. Currently, I'm doing my live stream on my iPhone 12. I bought a new iPhone when my iPhone 12 stopped working earlier this year. So before that, that's what I was using to make all my videos. And then earlier this year, the sound just stopped working. But I can still use it as a camera. I just can't use it for recording videos or mics or anything. So I got a new phone, which is the iPhone 17. So yes, haven't made profit yet, but this year might be the year. Which leads me to the point of diversifying your income, because ultimately the vast majority of the income that I make from my art business is not YouTube, is not AdSense, it is my art membership, and my art retreats. Now, I can't believe I can say that. I feel so bougie, so wild. But part of the reason that I'm highlighting that, or I'm mentioning that, is to say that you don't, even without being monetized on YouTube, you can connect with people who will want to attend your art retreats or your memberships, or buy your ebook, or get your brush pack, or buy your physical book, or like, do you see what I mean? Like, YouTube is the money that one can make on YouTube is not primarily from the ads, I believe. There's also the opportunity to do sponsorships, which you don't need to be monetized on YouTube for. You just arrange that with brands. Not the path I'm going down, unless it's a brand that I really, really like. Emirates, Hilton, Marriott, please. Ritz, please reach out. I'm joking. But do you see what I mean? There are other opportunities. Oh, you found me after the collab with Leslie. Aw. Leslie is so nice. So nice. I actually need to call her. Oh my gosh. We've been trying to contact each other. And it's like, we always miss each other. I'll call her, she won't answer. She'll call me back, I won't answer. I'll call her back, she won't answer. And we normally do this ping pong, but then eventually we actually like our schedules actually align and we actually get to speak. Usually when I'm not nocturnal and thus awake in the middle of the night. Question: does a link to your Amazon store also work as an affiliate? Oh, you guys are asking such great questions. Yes, it does. So that's another income stream. Potato Pirate's asking about like affiliate income essentially. Yes, you can have 1 subscriber, 0 subscribers, and have affiliate links. And when people click on the link and they buy something, doesn't have to be the thing that you're linking to, you then get a percentage back. So yes, I do get a small commission from people using my affiliate links, and it does add up and it does make a difference. So thank you guys so much for doing that. For me, I have 2 affiliate. 2? Do I have 2 or 3? I have 3 affiliate links, I believe. So I have Jackson's, which is my main one, because that's where I buy all my art supplies. I have an art supply order coming tomorrow, and it's embarrassing because just a few days ago I was talking about a no-buy, but then I remembered that there were certain things I wanted to do because I have this project in my mind that I want to do anyway. So the no-buy starts tomorrow. But yes, Jackson's makes a huge difference. Then there's also Amazon, which is great. So Amazon is good because obviously, I don't mean as a company, I mean there's so many things that you can buy from there. So like I said, with the affiliate links, the relevant or the qualifying purchases, I would get a small percentage of it. So it can be anything from 1 to 5% depending on what the person is buying. And kind of same for Jackson's. Sometimes Jackson's will also do more. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, but the good thing about Amazon is that it's not necessarily restricted to art supplies. So if people like do their normal shop but they use my links, then I will also get a affiliate income. Roughly it is around, I don't know, I feel like some people make loads of money on it. I honestly can't remember the last time I was paid by Amazon, so I need to double check to make sure that something hasn't changed with like the tax, whatever. But when I was getting paid by Amazon, it's maybe like £5-10 a month, sometimes a bit less. But they haven't paid me recently, which is a good reminder. I need to double check in case they've changed something. But yes, it adds up. Jackson's is more. Jackson's depends on, because obviously we have a problem. But Jackson's is more, and it obviously just depends on what people are buying. And like if there's a watercolor sale, for example, then I may get paid more. If there are no sales, then I'll get paid less. But I don't know it's not like per month, because I feel like Jackson, they have to go and approve the payments or something. So every so often I'll get like a bulk payment and get like £200. I'll be like, so Jackson's is like really good. Oh, okay. Potato Pirate. Does your Jackson's link give you affiliate credit for the US? Yes, it does. So irrespective of where you are in the world, if you click on my Jackson's link, it will redirect you to your normal site. I think as long as you have cookies accepted, then I will get a small affiliate income from the order. And that's for any order every time that you click on the link. Does that make sense? As opposed, so it's not like a one-time thing. It's like if you're like, oh, I want to buy some supplies today, let me use her link. It will work. I feel like Miss Ebony, who I miss, Miss Ebony in the past like bookmarked my affiliate link. so every time she was buying, I was getting affiliate income. So yeah, it was nice. It adds up. So I have those 2, and then the third one that I have is Meeden, but I don't tend to get much affiliate income from them because I feel like most people get their Meeden watercolor blocks, for example, from Amazon, and so I don't get that affiliate income. Yeah, So those are the 3 kind of schemes that I'm attached to. Laurie, what did you ask? What did I miss? Painting with Ashley, by one I mean me. Hey, Janine Broom. Are you filming in front of a window? It's artificial light, yeah. It's 2:45 a.m. Oh my gosh. No, you're right. Yes, it's 2:53 a.m. So I am using 2 artificial LED lights, which so I have a number of different lights. Reason being that they sometimes react differently to like the cameras. So there's like sometimes like you can get a strobe effect. So I've had to like change cameras multiple times depending. I just couldn't get rid of the strobe effect without changing the cameras, changing the lights and whatever. Different cameras have strobe effect with different lights or whatever. So I have like a, do I have an example to show you? No. But I have like a soft box, which is like a big box that gives me diffuse light, and I have, which takes up quite a lot of space to be fair. And then I have like a small LED light that's about that size, and I have them like this. So one is over here and one is over there. And I have them like that so that the shadows aren't as harsh on my painting when I'm painting. If they were like just one light, I can show you. If it's just one light, then all of a sudden it's not. Although the shadow is better. No, it's not. There you go. The shadows from that side, and it's just not quite as bright, and like this side of my face is in shadow. And same if I turn off the other one. But when I turn this on, you can maybe see that this light is actually a bit harsher than this soft box. So there are pros and cons. I find that the LED lights were more likely to have that strobing effect, where it's almost like, it almost looks like the light is flickering. But it's not. It's just how the camera is picking it up. Whereas with the soft box, I had that less, but the softbox takes up a lot of space. I didn't want to have 2. I can't have 2 in this current studio, basically. And so the best of both worlds that I could do was have one LED light, which takes up less space because it's about that size, then have a big softbox that gives me the nice diffuse light, and manage like that. But then I also have a ring light that I use sometimes, but again, that sometimes has a strobe effect. So it depends on what camera I'm using. But ultimately, the best lighting is natural light. Natural light, chef's kiss. If it's like cloudy outside, but the sun is kind of facing you, but it's like, just like cloudy, it's just like you have nature's beautiful softbox, and the lighting there's nothing that beats that kind of light. But I live in the UK and I am nocturnal, and thus I'm either up in the middle of the night like now, and thus I need artificial lights, or we have winter where it gets dark at like 3 p.m. and so again I need to have some lights. I just went on Amazon and I got a softbox, an LED light. If I had space, I would use a softbox. If I didn't have space, I would use LED lights. But just know you might have to alter the settings on your phone or on your camera to avoid that strobe effect. And if I lived somewhere that had sunshine, I would just use natural light. It is fantastic. A watercolorist, do I pay taxes on my YouTube, Ko-fi, Patreon income? I will when I make a profit, but you can't pay tax on debt. So when I make an income, when I make a profit, yes, I will pay taxes. This is year 5.5 and that is yet to happen. So who knows? Maybe, I don't think, would I? would I need to pay this year? I would have to make a whole lot more in order to come out of the red. But yes, normally, so you basically, so in the UK or in general, everywhere, I believe, everywhere. But anyway, in the UK, let me speak for where I am. You have you pay tax on your profit. Yeah. You pay tax on your profit. You pay tax on your income, on your profit. So if you have a business, you're paying tax on your profit. So so say for example, I've made £5,000, but I spent £10,000 to make it. My company is negative 5,000, and thus I'm not paying tax on negative 5,000 because I am going into debt running this business, hypothetically speaking. Oh, dude, good question. When will I have dates for next year's retreats? Soon. Soon. Basically, with what I'm waiting on is I am waiting on my hospital to tell me when I'm working. that is literally what I am waiting on. And once they tell me when I am working and when I can take leave, I will know when I can do the retreats. So I'm hoping that they will tell me soon, because technically they should have told me already, because they should have. Yeah. So I'm hoping that they're going to tell me soon, and then I'll be able to have a look at the year and know when I'll be able to take annual leave, and that is when I will host the retreats. But yes, I do want to do extra retreats. I want to, yes. So soon, I hope. But I will do more retreats next year. I would love to, yeah. I'd love to do as many retreats as possible, but obviously I have to also be realistic. Potato Bar, I have a notepad page with a list of our creators' affiliate links that I use before I buy. God knows what random purchases have shown up. Honestly, it's funny. I feel like once I saw male socks. That was a multi-pack of socks. I was like, I didn't even know you could get that from Amazon. Was that you? Oh, what about Josie? Good question. What about Patreon? Is it a good revenue scheme? Oh, Laurie. I should do an unboxing video. I don't know if you guys would be interested in what I got. It's like I have this random idea. I don't know if you know. Sometimes I have random ideas. I went through a painting on wood phase with the gouache. You remember the little landscapes? I had this burning desire to paint with gouache on wood. And now I have a desire to do some print making. So I've bought some stuff to do some prints. But not watercolor related, so I don't know if it's as interesting. But what about, so Patreon income? I think it depends for different creators. I think it depends for different creators. So for me, Patreon I don't make much money on Patreon. Patreon has much higher fees than Ko-fi, and I have a lot less people on Patreon. So I think for some people it makes a good amount of money. There are some people that have hundreds of people in their membership, so it's going to make money. But my Patreon is still relatively quite small. My art membership on Ko-fi is bigger, so that's what makes the vast majority of my art income. But so, and also I don't know how everyone, this is not financial advice. Please, nobody sue me. As I'm here being, and this is not tax advice and all the other disclaimers that one may need to know in order to not hold me accountable. But yes, I think that art memberships can be a very good income stream. Um I think that it is important to, I don't think it's easy income stream, but it is income. And what I mean by, and I also think that it is important to think about, it's important to think about what you enjoy doing, obviously what people want from you, but also what is scalable and doable long term. Does that make sense? So as soon as people are paying, I feel like it's a different ball game. Do you know what I mean? Like there is an obligation because people are giving you the hard earned money, so you can't just do what you want for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it is different, but I think it's good. I think if you are thinking about an art membership, the stats that I was given, which I don't know how accurate they were, was that for every 1,000 subscriber that you have, one of them may become a member, is what I was told. I think that's like the stats that Patreon were basically sharing. And they the key thing that you have to be aware of is that if you have whether you have one person or you have 100 people, you have to think about like what reward you're giving or how you're running your membership. And so there are some things that are scalable and some things that are not scalable. And what I mean by that is that, say for example, you say that you're going to do 4 videos a month, right? Great. If only one person joins, you still have to do those 4 videos a month, and then that becomes a lot of work for maybe like whatever you're charging. So my studio membership is £25, my Happy Mail membership is £35, and my Originals membership is £125. If I only had one person in the studio tier, I would be making 4 videos for £25 a month. But if I have 500 people, I'm still making those 4 videos, and then that's different. Do you see what I mean? And so that might be like a good business model / membership way to go about it. So you just have to kind of think about the fact that what you're promising, you're going to have to deliver, irrespective of whether there's 1 or 1,000 people. And so I think you want to balance when you start the art membership, so that it's got enough people that you're not burning yourself down to the ground doing that kind of work. Do you see what I mean? Like, you want there to be enough people that actually are making some income, and thus it makes sense to do that. What else there was something I wanted to say, but I've forgotten about. Oh yes. So in terms of also scalability, for example, I have the Happy Meal tier, which is, I guess, like a passion project for me. I do it because the whole membership is a passion project. But with the Happy Meal tier, I physically make the dot cards. So for around 2 to 4 days a month, 2 to 4 days every other month in my home, the surfaces are covered with paint, because I will sit here and I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and I'll make all the dot cards and then put them out to dry and then write a letter, and then sometimes I'll also include extra things. So this is very, very manual, and so I have to cap how many people are in the Happy Meal tier, as much as I love doing it. And so this is not scalable unless it got to a point where I thought, oh, you know what, so many people want it, I'm going to hire someone to like make the dot cards for me. Do you see what I mean? Whereas something like Zoom sessions, the art workshops, the art challenges that we do, the community aspect, that is scalable. And what that means is that I am able to deliver my best, but to lots of people, as opposed to the alternative would be like, say if I left the Happy Meal tier open and like 100 people joined the Happy Meal tier, then I wouldn't be able to do everything else because I would have to physically be making the Happy Meal. So you have to kind of like balance it, and I feel like time it right. I've had my membership for 4 years and it has been amazing, like so amazing. And the Happy Meal tier was something that was relatively new, but in the studio tier we get the live streams, we have Zoom sessions. I've been able to explore and share different topics, and it's just like a really lovely community. And I think about you every day. I'm not sure that's healthy, but that's just me, every day. And I'm thinking about what we can do, how we can stay inspired, what everyone is doing, what different topics they might find interesting, what videos to create. Do you see what I mean? Everything is kind of geared towards how can I create the environment and the experience that I want to create. It took me a while to start it. I was quite unsure whether anyone would join it. I don't know why, but I really do struggle with imposter syndrome. And it's got better with years, like, of doing this. But especially when I started, I was definitely like, will people join? Do people even like me? Is it, am I charging it too much? Am I doing, like, I just had all these doubts. And I just kept talking about it because it was something I really, really, really wanted to do. And eventually my sisters and some friends were just like, you just got to do it. Oh no, I can't see the chat anymore. Let me move to the side and see. Can you still... actually, is it my phone? Let me know if you can see and hear me, because I can't see the chat anymore. David, do you have neighbors, and do they ever ask you, who are you on the phone to at 12 midnight to 4 a.m? No, thankfully my neighbors can't hear me. I've always been quite lucky that way. I can't hear my neighbors and my neighbors can't hear me. Derwood, does the UK consider YouTube income as a business, and do you get benefits in terms of deducting expenses? Again, excellent question. And then I'll come back to the membership. I hope I'm making sense. I hope that this is helpful and useful. But yeah, I would say diversifying income is a good idea. You can do that through memberships, you can do that through affiliate links, you can do that through sponsorships, you can do that through a number of different ways. The community and the membership for me was like the best part, because I feel like I have art friends and I'm able to teach, I'm able to inspire, and I'm able to like grow and cultivate what I want. And I can kind of talk about how I came to my price if people are interested in that. But just to answer your question, Derwood, the UK, if you're making any income that goes above £1,000, the UK considers that as any revenue, not profit, but any revenue that you make that crosses £1,000, you have to declare to the government. So when I started YouTube, I think for the first year I made zero. For the second year maybe I made like £300, £400. I can't quite remember, but maybe for the third year is when I made 1,000. So the third year might be where I made 1,000 revenue. So where I made the money, it wasn't the profit. So I'd spent more than I made, but because I had made 1,000, I declared it to the government. And whether you can claim things as expenses. My situation is a little bit more complex. Again, this is not tax advice, but my situation is complex because I guess I also have a job. So the rules are a little bit different. But yes, you can claim, you can offset expenses, which basically means that, like I said in that example, if you've made £5,000 from YouTube, but you spent £10,000 to get there, you're not paying any tax on that. Your business is in minus 5,000. But say the next year you don't spend anything and you make 10,000, so now you're 5,000 positive. Or even like, let's make it a simple example and say like, you know, you start off year one and you make £20,000 and you spent £10,000 to make it, so you've made £10,000 profit, you would pay tax on the £10,000 that you have made. And there might be other costs and whatnot. I will, you know, I'll let you guys know when I actually am finally in, do you say in the black or in the green? I feel like you say in the red and in the black. So when I'm in the black, I'll let you know. Oops, sorry, what did I miss? Yes, Josie, also nocturnal. Okay, yes, you can see and you can hear me. Okay, good. So I've gone onto YouTube so that I can see the chat. Although I can't see your chat is going to be a little bit behind mine, which is okay. Potato Pirate. They have actual walls in London, apparently. Cries in American drywall. Hey, El Cat Maze. I got it right this time. Okay, black. Yeah, so when I get in the black, I'll let you know. But yeah, that's what it is. And also, like, obviously everyone can kind of set it up differently, but the way that I have set it up is so that my YouTube, my art memberships, my affiliate income, my all of this I treat as my art income. Does that make sense? So I treat it all as one business. So it's not like my YouTube is one business and my art membership is another business and my art retreat is another business. Like, it's all one art business for now until I figure out exactly what I'm doing. Or like, you know, because if like it also costs like accounting fees and blah blah blah. Like it all adds up, which is why I remember, like, some of you will remember Dr. Otto Cano, who had like a database, a watercolor database that was like super helpful and also like really great. It still has a really great YouTube channel. But I think like, so she quit YouTube, which to be honest was a loss to the whole community, but she quit YouTube and she removed the database, and I think she also like removed the monetization from her YouTube channel, and she kind of like shared about it, and it just made, it was so sad, but it made so much sense, because she also said like, look, the money that she makes on YouTube doesn't cover the accounting fees for making that money, which was also my reality. So it's like, when you make over £1,000, or depending on like how you structured it, if you set up a company, then it's less so, it's not about the threshold. But if you haven't set up a company and you're making income, once you make more than £1,000, you have to declare it to HMRC, right? So you have to declare it to the government, and then sometimes, depending on if you've set up a company, life is easier for you if you get an accountant, but then the accounting fees are more than you've make. So you're literally losing money by monetizing your channel. Now this obviously is in the particular case where you're making over £1,000, but your expenses are a lot higher. If you keep your expenses lower, then it's easier and stuff. And obviously there's a plethora of things that you have to think about. But yes, one of them is taxes. If you are making this and it's profit, you will have to pay taxes on it. But yeah, I just remember when she said that and I was like, oh my gosh. And then also like like YouTube wasn't enough to pay for the accounting fees, so it was better or easier for her to just demonetize it and make no income, so then she doesn't have the stress about worrying about paying the taxes and paying the accountant and anything, because it's like no money, no tax. And then also I think like the hosting fees for the website was so much that again it didn't make enough, so it was sad. Oh, Josie Herman, any questions? A good question. Who my all-time favorite artists are? So I feel like I enjoy a lot of different artists. At the moment, who the artists that I'm really loving are the Impressionists. So I'm really, really enjoying Cézanne and Van Gogh and Renoir, and Gauguin. Kind of Gauguin. I like his still lifes, but I don't know. I feel like maybe his life was a bit weird, and I don't like the paintings he's done of the people and whatever. But yeah, I really enjoy them. Just their bright use of colors and painting from life. Oh, and Monet. So yeah, the Impressionists. But that being said, I also don't know much art history. So I'm sure that there are just so many artists waiting to be discovered. For me, as in like waiting that I am yet to discover. Oh yeah, John Singer Sargent as well. Oh, I love his watercolors. Like so, they just seem so like effortless and beautiful, and the way that he captures light is like, how do you do that? Hey Maria, sleep well. But yeah, we have similar favorites. Now, does anyone what is that? It says there's a plus sign. Engage with your audience. Oh, start a Q&A. Questions. I wonder what happens if I do that then. Questions. Don't know if anything happens. Uh-oh. Oh no. I've closed the chat again. What is wrong with me? Okay, I've opened it now. Oh, thank you, Bluver. I have to check them out. Ooh, Ashley loves John Constable. What are your favorites, Josie? How do I think AI will affect the art world? I feel like it's already started to affect it, obviously. I don't think the effects are going to be in a good way, to be honest. I think that um I think that there will be I think there'll be like fewer jobs and opportunities, but I also feel like on the other hand it will create demand for authentic human art. Do you see what I mean? It's almost like things that almost looked so polished and so perfect and eerie will become the norm, but that will leave people craving things that look authentic and very clearly human made. I think that there is I feel like there is also like a danger of artists being overly reliant on it. So I know that there's obviously a lot of people that feel quite strongly and dislike it and don't kind of agree with it. But I also feel like there's a lot of references that are now AI. There's a lot of like resources that are a lot of AI, and it feels like everyone is drinking from the same well, or a lot of people are drinking from the same well. And I feel like even studying, for example, like people studying art, maybe a lot of it will be influenced by AI, and so things like unique and original thought will be more appreciated and maybe less present. But then I also feel like, you know, with all technology, there has been some sort of some sort of change. I think this might be the worst of it all, but like with the internet, things changed, and we became lazier, and instead of reading books we just Google, and what can you do with, but like also at the same time, people used to paint all the time, and then photography came along, and then I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible, but there's still a space for artists. I feel like maybe the spaces are getting smaller and smaller, but I think that there's still a space there. And I think that there's also certain things that AI cannot replace, and that AI will create a hunger for, and that is human connection. Because the same way that a lot of us were talking about, how you see these AI thumbnails and they give you the ick. I think there'll be more of that. I think there'll be more of a hunger for artwork that is clearly human made. I think that there'll be more of a desire for authenticity, and I don't mean that just as like the clickbaity way, but just as in like people wanting to connect with people wanting to join memberships, to be in art retreats, to go to art groups, to go to symposiums, to actually connect with people, because I think this is just worsening the loneliness that people are feeling. Enjoy, Dawood. Thank you so much for watching and for all your great questions. Yeah, but it's what can you say? It's a nuanced topic. I feel like with everything, at the end of the day, we just have to remain hopeful, don't we? I wanted to see, are there any other questions? I feel like I've answered most of them, and I have addressed the bullet points that I had made. The last bullet point that I had was let YouTube lead you to the people that you want. So again, just focusing on community, which leans into the question that I just answered. But yeah, let YouTube be. YouTube is a good way to connect with people, and the monetization of the videos, yes, it can be good, but also I think that there are just it's a narrow focus to just think about that. There are so many more opportunities on YouTube, and the main one being that you can build a community. And so there are some people, the wise ones who know how to make money, will maybe have a business outside of this or something, and YouTube just serves as a way to connect to people, and any income that it makes in terms of like AdSense and whatever is a bonus, but it's not the main thing. If I was relying on YouTube as my main income, I would be making 160 to 365 pounds a month, and my fixed costs are £1,800 a month. So, what more could I do to yeah. And in terms of like videos, I was making like 50 to 70 videos a year, and I kept, and it was like, there was one time I think I made almost 80 videos, and it was too much for me, way too much for me. But still, I made like £1,000, which again is better than nothing. But sometimes I do think if I had taken all that time and invested it in something else, what would life be like? Do you know what I mean? But that is why money can't be the driver. Because if it is, it's not worth it. Personally, like if the aim is to make money, there are easier, more effective ways to make money than YouTube. But if it's you have a bigger purpose, a bigger vision, if you want to connect with people, if you want to give value, if you want to build a community, if you have a vision that is bigger than yourself and bigger than making money, then yes, YouTube is worth it. If it is that you are trying to make money, you are better off. Like, if I think about the fact that I've made, let's say, 50 videos average a year, and let me say it normally takes me like 20 hours to make a video, but 50 videos times 20, that is 1,000 hours. 24 divided by, that is 41.6 days of my life a year, which is an entire month and a half wiped out. If I wanted to, if this was just about money, YouTube wouldn't be what I would recommend. I don't know what I would recommend, but it would not be YouTube. Finance, maybe. Finance, accounting, engineering, like any other vocation other than YouTube would make more money than AdSense, I think. Now, there are, of course, many artists that make a really great income as part on YouTube and with their art businesses, and really and truly I would love for them to share how. I've shared what I know that's got me to this point, and I really do look forward to the point where I am financially comfortable. I'm not there yet, but these are the insights that I have for making money on YouTube. And just to kind of recap, one, be consistent in terms of like actually growing your channel and reaching the right people. Be consistent. Think about, like, optimize your thumbnails, and what I mean by that is like less is more. No, don't fill it with text, no cursive, minimal writing if at all, nice big clear picture, make it small so that you can tell what it is even when it's small, because people watch YouTube on their phones as well. Think about, get a balance between yourself versus others, and I think some people lean too much towards thinking about themselves and not making videos for others. Make your title searchable. Consider live streams, because they will build your watch hours significantly and build community, which again is invaluable. Don't give up. The benefits of YouTube are way more than the monetization, and that is the community. That is invaluable. Being able to connect with people like this at a time like this, you can't put a price on it, and that is worth way more than the money that you make on YouTube. I currently make £168 to £365 a month on YouTube from ads, but for the first year I was making £50 a month. Well, for the first year I made £0 a month. For the second year I made around £50 a month, and it's just gradually increased from there, which is good because it continues to build. The monetization criteria has changed, so it has gone, or is going, from 4,000 watch hours to 8,000 watch hours in February, but it is still possible to achieve it in 6 months beforehand. Although I couldn't do it, it took me 15 months, but I do believe I made a lot of mistakes at the time, and that's why I'm sharing all these tips with you. So I do think it is possible, but even if it gets to 8,000, I still think 8,000 is possible, even though I think it's horrible that they doubled it. Diversify your income. AdSense is not much in the grand scheme of things. AdSense is enough to buy groceries, which is a blessing, but is not enough to pay for mortgage, rent, bills. Do you see what I mean? So it's nice to have, but it can't be all that you're working towards. You have to diversify your income. You have to think bigger than YouTube. One of the things that I would also recommend is having like a newsletter, so that you have a way to connect with people, because also you don't own YouTube. I don't own this YouTube channel. Yes, it is mine. Yes, I'm connecting with you, but if, God forbid, YouTube decided to cancel my channel tomorrow, I would not be able to do anything about it. Whereas a newsletter, I have control over. If anything were to happen, I would be able to directly reach out to people and tell them, hey, this happened. Hey, this is my new channel. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey, like, I would be able to contact them. I can't control that on YouTube. I can't make YouTube show you that video or show whoever's watching that video. And so it is important to have something outside of all these social media platforms that you can actually connect with people through, and that is email. I don't email people often. I think I do, like I've done maybe 4 or 5 emails this year. I only email when I feel I have something to say or something exciting to share, but ultimately I think it is good because you don't own YouTube, and I can't control it. If the algorithm decided to, God forbid, stop sharing my videos to you, I would have no way of reaching you, no way of telling you, no way of messaging you, and no way of you ever seeing my videos again. So that is why things like my art membership and my mailing list make a difference. And you can start a mailing list from zero. Diversifying your income could mean doing sponsorships, although comes with its pros and cons. It can be doing affiliate links, it can be doing the art membership, it can be doing events, retreats, workshops, ebooks, digital guides, physical products. Sky's the limit. Don't just think about monetization of the ads. Painting with Ashley, I make roughly 300 minus taxes a day at my job, so YouTube would never justify it. I love it since we're oversharing. Honestly, yeah, it would never. That's the thing. How much do I? That's good. That's a good income. Well done. Yeah, no, that's the thing. The money can't be the main motivator. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that to say that I don't want to make money. I do. Like, I was thinking about this earlier today, how, people say money can't buy happiness. I'm like, last I checked, neither can poverty. Like, I'm just like, I wish someone would give me a whole bunch of money and let me manage. Like, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, like, yes, it can't buy happiness, it can't buy the things that are truly important. That is true, but also it can relieve so much stress. So yes, I would love to make more of an income. I would love to be financially comfortable, and one day I will be, but I don't see how that would be from YouTube AdSense alone. Ooh, Potato Pirate, I just got a few new core tubes and I can't wait to get into them. No, Jay Boltron, even community tab, if I post on a community tab, not everybody sees it. So in order for people to, by the way, my mailing list is linked in the description. But yeah, in order for people to see my community tab, they would have to think about me, search my channel, go to the community tab and find me. Some people will see it on their homepage, but ultimately, again, it depends on that being shown. Whereas if I have with my mailing list, if, say, God forbid, something happened to me tomorrow and I was like, I need to message people, I would be able to email you and say hey, this has happened. Or do you see what I mean? Whereas with YouTube, with Instagram, with TikTok, with any of these, I have no way of doing that. I can't DM you, I can't message you, I can't do anything like that. Thank you, Wildflower. No, I haven't forgotten. I'm still thinking about it, to be honest. What a wild challenge that would be. But I'm like, it's the shame. The shame. I don't feel shame, but I feel like I should. And I feel like maybe if it were to go viral, at that point I would feel shame and I'd be like, I should have seen this coming, because what am I doing? But yeah, we still have that plan. But yeah, so the community tabs help, and you're right, it's a good way to stay in touch with people. But yeah, I think the best way, it's good to have a mailing list, basically, even if you're not really reaching out to people yet. No, I think it's because in terms of like why money can, I feel like money just, obviously it maybe comes with extra stress, but I feel like it also removes stress to not have to think about it. That must remove stress, no? To not have to think about what you're spending, not have to, if you want to do something, not have to think about how much it costs. If you want to buy something, not having to think about it. If you want to help someone, not think about the cost. Like, I feel like you would just have a lot less to think about. Mm. Laurie Lee, it's true. My channel would go viral. It'd be like, okay, this is. You know what's funny actually? Maybe related, unrelated. But I saw this dress that I wanted to buy, and I have a whole bunch of dresses actually that I that are nice. They're nice dresses, but I have nowhere to wear them to. Like, and I saw this really nice floor length dress that I wanted to buy, but I was like, I can't buy this because I have nowhere to wear it to. Like, even like, where would I wear it to? And then I was talking to my sister and I was like, I wonder if I should just start wearing these really nice dresses to go plein air painting. Because I don't like, and some of them are like ball gown length, like, you know, floor length dresses, like really nice dresses. I'm not going to balls. I'm not going to black tie events. Yeah, feel free to send me an invite. But so I was like, maybe I should just wear these and just go plein air painting dressed in a ball gown. And she thought it was quite a good idea. Yes, this is for a grown woman who wears scrubs to go to work. That is, I think that's exactly the problem. I don't even wear dresses to go to work, because what's the point when I'm changing into scrubs? But to like even give you an example, right? Let me not flash you, but like you can see like this dress, right? Like it's a nice, pretty, like little cut. The dresses that I'm talking about are a bit more formal. This is more like a beach kind of dress, right? But I was like, I have nowhere to wear this to. I was like, what a shame, what a missed opportunity. And then I have like actual proper formal dresses, including the one that I wanted to buy that I'm not buying. But it's like, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Like I literally have, I don't think I've worn a single one of those really nice dresses in like the past year and a half. So I don't know. Maybe that could be a series. Like literally, I'll wear like floor, like down to the floor ball gown dress, and just go to the center of London and start painting because it's like, what am I supposed to do with these dresses? Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, but that's the thing. So like, say this one I can wear like at home. But I don't. But even wearing it at home, all due respect, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me thought about doing this live stream because I like this dress. I was like, what is the point of having all these really nice dresses and like nowhere to wear them to? Yeah, yeah, of course. Hold on, I'll send it. I'll send you my email. Sketches.n.Scrubs@gmail.com. No, no, they're not for church. They're, and even like, I feel like maybe I could wear some of them to church. Because to be fair, I did used to dress up proper for church. Because I was like, nobody can tell me how to dress for the Lord. But, but coming in a ball gown again might look a bit insane. But maybe yeah, I don't know. I was talking to my sister about it earlier today before coming live. Because I'd sent her the picture of the dress and I was like, it's such a nice dress, but I literally have nowhere to wear it to. Like I'm not gonna buy it because it would be a waste of money. I have nowhere to wear it to. But I was like, damn, like, where are people going? Where, where are they going where can I go to make wearing these acceptable? And then the only thing I could conclude was I'm just going to have to wear them. And it's not like I can wear that kind of dress and go to a restaurant. Again, I would look insane. But I don't know, something about wearing it and like plein air painting is like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound, you know? I'm so sorry. There's not a single time we've done a live stream that I haven't gone on some sort of random tangent, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, again, but I don't know any galas or fundraisers. I've never been to any of them. Like, oh no, actually, so the first, like, one of the really nice ones that I guess it was a gala, like a, yeah, it was like a formal ball. It was a ball. Both of them were for balls, actually, for the two dresses that are super nice. And then another one was like a 30th birthday party. And then, I don't know, like through the years, you know, there've been like a few events here and there. But I was just looking at my cupboard the other day because it's like, you know, when you have too many clothes but nothing to wear? That's literally what it was giving. And I hate shopping. So it's not like I'm buying lots and lots and lots of clothes. I've bought exactly 3 items of clothing this year, and we're in August. And they were 3 dresses that I bought for like events that specified a color scheme, and I didn't have that color, so I had to go and buy the dress. So it's not that I like buying or anything like that. But no, anyway, getting those dresses made me think about the fact that I do have really nice dresses, but it also made me think about the fact that I hadn't worn those nice dresses in years because I'm not going to balls anymore. I've never been to the opera. Certified crazy. Jay Boltron. Mm, okay. If I do it and when I do it, I'll take pictures and I'll share it. But you know what? You know what's even funnier? In my head, I'm like, well, I might as well make a full spectacle of it. So, because I'm thinking, if I'm getting like a floor, like I'm wearing the floor length dress, so I'm not, as in I'm not buying that dress. But if I wear one of my super nice long dresses, then I'm like, I should bring my easel to paint. So it's not that I'm not going to like Urban Sketch and have my watercolor on my lap. I'm going to stand and have my easel and paint. Oh gosh. Maybe I'll ask my sister if she wants to do it this weekend. Sketches and gowns. Yeah, honestly, it might make the series shorter than we anticipated. Part of me wondered, like, I mean, I kind of wonder about the it could be a series. Why not? I kind of wonder about the what would happen. You know, like when I there's something about like urban sketching and plein air painting and just being outside that opens up like opportunities. And what I mean by that is like, say for example, when I went to Dorset, right? I was car camping, I was painting outdoors. I met so many nice people. In one day, I spoke to 28 people. I know because one day I spoke to so many people. I was like, tomorrow I need to count. And then I counted. And I don't mean like a hi bye. I mean like people stopping to tell me about how they painted or their father painted or what they enjoy or they wish that they could paint or just wanted to know a bit more about me. Like 28 full-blown conversations with strangers. I got invited on a free boat ride. I got a free sauna. I went out for drinks with people. I went out for a meal with people. Like so many things happened as a result of like just being outside and painting and being, I guess, friendly and happy to like talk to anyone who talked to me. And so part of me kind of wonders if me in a ball gown would, like, what would happen? Do you know what I mean? I also feel like London is more standoffish, so maybe absolutely nothing would happen. But when I was by St. Paul's, like a lady stopped me and was like, oh my gosh, I really love your painting, like you're so skilled, and she wanted to know more about me and how I learned to paint. And actually even an architect stopped me and was again complimenting me and like encouraging me, and also like wanted to share all these really cool facts about St. Paul's. And so maybe in a ball gown as well, I would get even more even more attention. Oh, you'll do it too, Ashy. That would be good, because honestly, like what are we doing with these dresses otherwise? And like the other day I brought out my heels, and I have so many high heels, and I don't wear them. Now, granted, I am 6 foot tall without heels. So but that is not the point. That is not the point. The heels still look good. So like, oh my gosh, I have all these cool outfits and I'm just not going anywhere. I'm not wearing them. So maybe I'll do baby steps. So maybe what I'll do is go out in a nice dress, but not a ball gown dress, and see how that feels. And then the next time that I go out, I'll literally bring out like there's one that I have, there's two that come to mind. One is like a pinky color, and the other one is like a red color, and both of them like go down to the ground, which to me is a big deal because like I said, I'm 6 foot tall. Oh, in the grass, do you think? mm. Hey Josie. Oh, okay. Another off. That's a good question. So you were not notified about this live. Next to so underneath the video, there should be a bell icon, and that is the like subscribe. And if you click it again, then it should turn on the notifications. But the other thing that I do is I share when I'm going live on my art membership right before I go live. So if you join the membership, even as a free member, like if you sign up as a free member, then that will mean that anytime that I go live, I will post it and you will get an email basically saying like, hey, I'm going live. Yes, you will get more attention. Yeah. Go big or go home. I love it. So Josie, I've just sent the link for my membership, and it's also in the description if anyone is interested. So that's whether you want to be free or whether you want to join the paid membership. And I am going to be doing a change coming in September, which I've been hinting about, not to hint, but just to, I guess, let people know that from September, oh, what's the excellent idea? Yeah. From September, I'm going to close the entry to my art membership because we are going to be doing a project together, and I want everyone to I want us to start together and to work through it together. And I really just want to use that time for us to paint and create together. And I don't want to, one, have to worry about or think about marketing or anything like that, but also I want us to kind of work through the same things at a similar pace. So it feels scary to me, because part of me feels like, oh, well, what if loads of people want to join and I've closed it so people won't join? And so, it feels scary, but I also feel like it could be great, because it will mean that we'll be able to work on this together. And I don't want to share what the project is yet, because I haven't fully finalized everything yet, and I just want to get everything ready. But that is your heads up if you would like to join the membership, if you want to paint more, if you want to be part of this community, and join my Zoom session so that we can actually talk and see more behind the scenes, more videos with my process, more videos talking through supplies, as well as the community aspect, then be sure to join my membership. This month we are exploring using bold colors, which is why, like these paintings were an example of that. But also just like a reflection of, my use of color, one of my most asked questions. And so this month I left it open for people to decide and to suggest what they wanted us to focus on. And Cordelia suggested exploring bold colors, and that is what we have been doing together, which has been really great. But yes, big project coming up in September. And so in September, the membership entry will close. If you want to be a member, you should join now, obviously, but you should join anytime before it closes. I will be announcing it more and sharing a bit more about it, but obviously I am still working on being better at marketing, so you will have to forgive me. And it will remain closed for a few months. Then the Happy Mail tier is full, and so that is now also closed, and that will likely be closed until the end of the year, because like I said, I can only make so many at a time, and we'll see if I get better at if I can make more, then I'll open it up again. But I think this is the second time I've opened it this year, and it's full again. So okay, heads up to anyone who doesn't watch the channel often, you will put the notifications to personalized. Oh, thank you. It's so funny because that one was a painting that was initially not really working, if I'm honest. Where are you? It wasn't really working for me, and I kept painting and I loved the results. So it's like, well, no, this one I loved straight away, had no issues with. This one I was struggling with, and I added the people and added more details, and I was like, oh my gosh, chef's kiss, I love it, it's fantastic. And the last live stream, so these paintings were all done on live stream. So it started off with this one, then we did this one on the next live stream, then this one on the next live stream, and then this one on the final live stream. That is the final page in this sketchbook. That is all my paintings from my trip to Toulouse. This beautiful page has just some of the many stickers that I collected from artists when I went to Toulouse on the Urban Sketching Symposium. The Urban Sketching Symposium was taking place at the same time. I didn't have a ticket, so I didn't technically attend, but so did 1,000 people who also didn't have tickets, so we just got to paint and sketch all day. But as part of it, I went round and, people exchanged stickers. So these two are mine that I gave out to people, and then I have another one. So I went and collected stickers from all these lovely artists. We exchanged them. And I also, Arting About, who was here in the chat earlier, that's his sticker. And then the other thing that I did was I asked people to write me a note. A tip, something they wish they knew about urban sketching, a reason why they love it, like anything inside this book. And this is what I mean about, you know, things like this being more precious than you can't put money on this, you know, on getting to meet people, getting to chat with them, getting to paint with them, getting to know them. It just it's enriched my life. It really has. It really, really has. It's funny because art has made my life so much better, and a big part of that has been by helping me connect with people even more. So yeah, and then I put pictures at the front of all the people that I just had a wonderful time sketching with, plus my stickers. So I have this book and this book. So that's how I left it in the last live stream. We created this and this. The replay of this live stream is just for members. The replays for the other live streams are open to everyone who is on my membership, free or paid. So you can go there and watch them back if you want, just because, as you may have noticed, I tend to overshare. And then today what I did was I did this page. So I left this page here because I want to stick, I can't find my printer, annoyingly. Will this be enough? But I want to stick this picture here because this has like the main group of people that I was sketching with the whole time, and it's just like such great memories. So I want to stick it here. But outside of that, I basically sketched out the supplies that I used, which would be nice to look at and reflect on in comparison to the array of supplies that I brought with me. The other things that I need to add are kind of like, or maybe make a note of, are my sketchbook, which was the Koval sketchbook. And just a reminder that one sketchbook is technically enough. I didn't do anything in the other ones really. And then I stuck this down, which is a certificate of authenticity that this sketchbook, which is a Koval sketchbook, is 5,390, which I thought was really cool. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Ashley. Is it a fair assessment to say that you're getting more comfortable with rendering people in your artwork? I think so. I think that this year I have, yeah, like this is something that's relatively new as of this year. Now, I don't know if, I don't necessarily, I feel like there's more that I want to do with it. Like it's definitely, so I definitely feel like there's more exploration that I can do it with adding people and with watercolor versus gouache. But yes, I think it is a fair assessment, and I think that it started this year when I went to Bologna. And I went to Bologna for the watercolor festival, and while there I did a lot of urban sketching. And I did some urban sketching with a friend of mine, and we'd basically said that I would teach them how to paint with gouache and they would teach me how to paint in their style. And they're very good at adding people to their artwork. So we painted together basically, and they would do step by step. Basically, they showed me how they paint. And it got to this point where they were going to add people, and I was like, oh my goodness, the painting is so nice, I don't want to ruin it with people. But because they added people and I saw that their painting was okay, I added people to mine, and I saw like, my painting is also okay. And from there, I was like, not only is it okay, it's added like this sense of life, and it's just a really nice addition to urban sketches. It adds life, it adds a sense of scale, it adds interest. And so I started adding people to more and more of my artwork. But before that, if you look at my art last year, there weren't any people. And sometimes when you look at my art, there's still no people. And sometimes now there are a few hints of people here and there. I love this painting. It's so painterly. So yeah, this is like my sketchbook from Toulouse. So painted from life, from life, from life, from life, from life, from life. Oh, it was so hot this day. I think I almost had heat stroke. From photo, from life, then completed afterwards, because like I said, when I first painted it, I was like, this isn't working, and then I added the people and the lines, and I was like, yes, it is. From life. This painting was hard work. Hold on, you can't see it, but this painting, I'm gonna put this painting was hard work, but I loved it in the end. This was a sketch that I did that I was intending to paint, but the shade had left, and it was like 40, it was maybe like 38 degrees, feels like 42, direct sunlight. I was like, absolutely not, call it a day. Then this painting I did the day that we took this picture. So this is what I was painting in this picture. Can you see it on the side? And then the next day, painted this, had the biggest ice cream of my life, and then painted this. And then as soon as we finished painting this, we painted this while waiting for a restaurant to open. While waiting for a rooftop to open, but the rooftop, we were told it was closed. In fact, it was open. So a few days later, I went up by myself after the retreat, and that's the view from the rooftop that I painted. So this is this, you see. Then later that night, because can't stop painting, every night I was painting, and painted this on the roof, on the bridge. Then the next day went to paint. This was the final day of the symposium, and I wanted to paint using the limited edition Roman Schmall like palette, this cutie pie. So I wanted to only use the colours that came in the set, which are Nickel Azure Gold, the Symposium 2026 colour, Aquarius Violet, and Indigo Greenish. I wanted to see, can it work? Does it work? And the answer is yes. To my pleasant surprise, it worked. And then from there, I went to go and do a Roman Schmall demo using those same colours plus July 2026, which is one of the new colours. And Sessions Art and I created this limited colour palette, created artwork using this limited colour palette where we were using the same reference photo. That was cool. And following that, as soon as we finished the demo, we went to do the final like sketch walk before the photo at the end, the big photo. And I painted this, and at the time I didn't like it. Like I maybe did it like in 15-20 minutes, but we had to go for the photo, so I couldn't continue it. And so my plan was like, oh, it's fine, I've done the first layer and I'm gonna come back and add details. And when I came back, I was like, I kind of love it as it is. I don't know why. It's very different to what I normally do, but I love it, so I haven't changed it. And then after the retreat, so that's this last painting that I did technically while the symposium was still going on. And then the next day, once everyone was gone, I did this painting, and this was where we used to hang out quite a lot, so it felt fitting to like go back. And then this painting was straight after that. I didn't like this. I may still add details to it. Then the rooftop, is this all the same? The following day, so this is right before risking it for a biscuit. This is the day that I needed to catch my flight. And then I came home. And when I came home, I did live streams, and we painted the Japanese garden, and we painted the rooftop again, and then the views again. And then we explored bold color, and then painted, this has like such a nice Korean restaurant right by here. It was so delicious. So delicious. And then we have stickers. Bye, Cat Maze. Thank you, William. That's very kind of you. And by the way, like, William did such an incredible piece of art. Like, I loved your use of negative space. It was so good. I don't know what I was expecting you to send me, but it wasn't that. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. That was really cool. Enjoy. Oh, I should honestly also go to bed because I need to wake up in the morning, and it's currently 4 a.m. But I hope that this video has been helpful, entertaining, insightful. It certainly has always been very entertaining for me. And I really hope that those who have channels have got something useful from it and are encouraged. I know that they can definitely still get monetized, and that there are loads of opportunities on YouTube beyond that monetization goal that they can keep working towards, and then somewhere along the line they'll be like, oh, I'm monetized now. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you have no further questions, I will leave you to it. Thank you so much for a wonderful live. Thank you so much for hanging out and for your kind words and encouragement. Hey Sasha, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week, and probably weekend, I should say now. I know it's already morning, it's wild now, but I'll try and get some sleep. It's just the nights, man, and there's nothing I can really do about it. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend / week ahead / maybe I'll see you guys soon. And until next time, bye.